Let's go.
Let's rock.
Jimmy Juice Podcast, man.
Let's go.
Figgy Fig, best in the world, that's what he do, know what I'm talking about. Ryan Rockett, born and raised in the H-Town, Houston, Texas. Know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Let's go, in the jacuzzi, smoking threats, I got my feet up, cut them haters off, I told them beat it, I don't need you, spend 50 racks in cash, but it's all good, I got my visa, this rolling got them staring at me like the Mona Lisa, my ghetto, Nike, I beat it like a creature, she always like my sneakers, these Jordan 5 pink aces, let's go, I'm knocking them down, baby, back in the row, he really the one, they already know, put on all of my chains, go put on the show,
Giving out gins, sipping my juice. Counting the beans, addicted to ends. I need it back in on whatever I do. We get it in on the daily. I get it rocking like this with the 80. We really 10 toes down on the page. What's up? We about to see what they saying.
Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Let's go. Gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Rockin' gym, vippin' juice. Go, let's go.
What do you have to say to everyone who still considers the Astros cheaters?
Caught a plane out to Cleveland late last evening.
This look like money, motherfucker. Money be green.
Oh, it's such a beautiful day.
It's a family, man. We getting it paper.
Yes. We are back at it, back in full effect. New episode of Gems and Juice on deck right now, people. We are back. A lot to talk about, a lot to break down. And we're going to get right into it, man. Pretty glad to be here. Happy to be here. Happy to be back. Figgy, you say you've been busy. I see you've been working. What's up with you, man?
Man, like you said, I've been working. I got a couple projects coming up, man. Can't wait to announce it whenever the time is right. But I've been doing my thing. I've been working closely. Shout out to Atomic Wings, by the way.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I've been working with Atomic Wings. I'm kind of like the creative director. So so I'm getting some stuff together, man. Make sure you go there, go to Atomic Wings. I don't got the address on me right now, but I'll get the address before the end of the show. But go there, get the wang. It's something called the wang. It's it's the best chicken wing ever, man. So yeah, shout out to Atomic Wings.
I don't think we have to give out addresses anymore, man. This is 2024. Everybody got a phone. You could type in Atomic Wings on your maps and you'll find it.
Yeah, it's only one.
Nobody needs to give out addresses no more.
Yeah, it's only one in Houston right now. So that's the only one. So yeah, man. Go to Atomic Wings.
Do you remember back in the day, sidebar, when people had to tell you like exactly how to get somewhere? Free internet on the phone.
Yeah.
I have a bad memory, man. So I would instantly forget every time. They like get on 45, you take this exit, you go over here, you go down 3 lights. Like, dog, I'm already lost.
Yeah. No, we used to remember that though, man.
I couldn't.
First you're gonna go down Kinsman, and then you're gonna make a right at that light. You're gonna go all the way down, make a right, and then you're gonna bust a quick left. And then just keep straight all the way down. You'll see it.
Yep.
So now it's like
the up thing is like you had no idea if you missed it, so you had to just you had to play it by sight and just say, I think I went too far. Let me go back. So, wild times. We were living like cavemen, man. Very unsophisticated.
No, I don't know if you was old enough to remember when you lost and you just asked a complete stranger.
Oh yeah, all the time, man.
It was times, man. Our car broke down, and somebody randomly riding down the street. Hey, y'all need some help? Hey, y'all, my house right here. You could come in and use the phone. And I remember being in this total stranger house using the phone, trying to call a tow truck, man. It was nothing wrong with it. I sat down. We got something to drink. I was a kid then, so it was me and my mother and my sister. And so she gave me something to drink. And we just in this, we don't know this lady at all, man.
Damn.
It was just a random lady riding down the street. And salute to that lady, man, because shoot, she was super nice enough to let us use the phone to call a tow truck. This was before everybody had a cell phone. So we went a total stranger house to use their house phone to call a tow truck, man. It was wild. Like that sound cringy even saying that.
It does, man. You know that sex traffickers and kidnappers and serial killers used to eat back then, man. Because I'm sure they hate all this technology now when anybody can just call 911 immediately. Like, dog, you used to actually have to run to the payphone or some shit.
Yeah.
You had to run and hope you run into a cop. Some shit went down, man.
Yeah, and then you had to pay for the payphone. So it wasn't like you could just do this or do that. You had to it was a lot going on, man.
Yeah.
Gotta hope the payphone work.
Yep. Yeah, it was wild, man. But
yeah,
savage times, man. We are now much more sophisticated. Now I can't go back.
Yeah, but if anybody want to go to, if anybody want to address the atomic wings, is and this is really weird, 11200 Northwest Freeway. So not the sexiest address, but
hey, y'all will find it. Put it in your phone, man. Make sure you shout out Figgy and get the Wang. You said it's called the Wang.
The Wang, yeah.
The Wang, okay, yeah. Make sure you get the Wang. Pause.
You got wings, and then you got a Wang.
Yeah, man. Glad to hear shit's going good for you, man. And you definitely deserve it. So glad to hear that, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Everything good with you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Just working. Business been picking up a little bit, so we've been a little busy. But all good vibes over here, man. I'm trying to have a good year this year, trying to get on top of some things. So yeah. Looking forward to it. I guess we'll get into this now. We didn't react last week, but the NFL schedule came out. We now know what the Texans, who they'll be playing what day. A lot of primetime games, as we all expected.
I want to get your reaction to it, man, because you're gonna be man.
Look, I knew it was coming. I knew after the year and the hype that CJ Stroud got, and I think everybody's realized they backed the wrong quarterback last year. I knew they was going to double up on CJ this year. So I knew this was coming, man. I was prepared for it. I was like, okay, we're probably going to have a Monday, Thursday, and Sunday night game. Probably going to have to work a holiday. So I was already ready for it, man. I'm not shocked. Yeah. I do see people upset that we have to play a Wednesday Christmas game, to which I say, y'all was a motherfuckers complaining about no primetime games, and y'all wanted the Christmas game last year flexed out. So, I don't want to hear it, man. Y'all wanted the national exposure. Now you got it. You got to deal with the scheduling and the short weeks that come with it. I don't want to hear no complaining now. I was Mr. Stay Low and Build. And y'all was complaining about the primetime games. Now that people talking about CJ and the Texans. Why is nobody talking about the Texans? Here you go. Now everybody going to be talking about them on Christmas Day. My only fear, dog, we got to get a backup quarterback, man.
Yeah.
Because what happens if we end up like the Jets?
Yeah.
You need all these primetime games without our star quarterback, and we get a Zach Wilson type motherfucker in there.
Yeah, you got Davis Mills.
Yeah, we can't have Davis Mills playing on Christmas Day, man. We can't have that happening. So Monday we definitely
Cowboys.
We need somebody to back up CJ, man. We can't put no trash out. It can't be over if he goes down.
Yeah.
Because they'll never put us on primetime again, man. They'll be like, see what happened?
Yeah, see when we give them some nice things, and this is how
So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I was expecting it, man. Any surprises for you in particular?
I was actually surprised they got that many primetime games, because I was guessing maybe 3, because it seemed like sometimes they be a little stingy with certain teams. Mm-hmm. Like, of course, the Giants is going to get some primetime games no matter what. The Cowboys gonna get some no matter what. The Jets. It's like these certain teams that's gonna get them no matter how bad they are. And I thought they was gonna wait, I guess, to maybe next year to see how if the Texans are for real to give them more games. But they gave them a lot, man. They got like 6. So that's good, man. I'm happy for it. I kind of miss going to like the Thursday night games here or Sunday night football here, and we got a couple of options, man. So I'm fired up about it.
Yeah, that's the one thing that kind of sucks about like some primetime games, though, man. Like, I'm trying to see which ones. The Christmas Day game gonna be rough. What else was there?
To me, Monday night.
Yeah, that's at Dallas though. I'm looking to see if we have at the Jets. Okay, do we have any national games that are at home?
Yeah, I want to say the second game is which is the home
Sunday Night Football. That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I was worried because I don't like the primetime weekday games when it's a home game, because I feel like that's worse for the home crowd, especially in Houston, which we don't really show up a whole lot for sports anyway, unless we're winning. The Texans usually do good. They have been doing bad for obviously reasons, but whenever it's like a Monday night game or a Thursday night game, they're like, why is nobody there? Like, people have to work, man.
Yeah,
people have lives. It's tough to go to a fucking Monday night game, get all drink and have fun, and you got to be at work early Tuesday.
Yeah, or even happen to leave work early to go to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Monday night game. If it was here, then I would have to leave the station and go right downtown to or not downtown, but right to the stadium to work. And then I got to get back up in the morning and work like normal. Because usually, man, working a game, being at NRG, that's a whole Sunday. Like once you do that, man, your Sunday is over. I'm ready to go home and soak my damn feet for all that walking.
Yeah.
Just imagine doing that, and then you working doing that, and then got to get right back up in the morning to work like normal. So,
are you still doing a tailgate this year?
So far I am. So far,
okay.
Yeah, unless something change.
All right, so y'all gonna look forward to seeing Figgy there again this year and the tailgate, man. So make sure y'all say what's up. New music did come out. There's some stuff I haven't heard yet. I know Ben Staples dropped a new project. I'm gonna check that this weekend. I haven't listened to it yet. But the big one everybody's talking about right now is there's a new Sexy Red song featuring Drake. Yes, Drake's first song post beef, and we never really covered. We'll talk about that in a second. The beef is now over. I consider it's dead now. Both sides have pretty much confirmed it at this point. Top Dog said it. Then Drake put out that post saying good times, summer vibes coming soon. Yeah. So the beef is over officially. But Drake has put out his first song post beef, and he rapped with Sexy Red, which is funny considering what Kendrick said.
All you see is two bad bitches.
I'm seeing two bad bitches with her.
Yeah.
He did rap over the BBL Drizzy beat, kind of poking fun at himself. He tried to spin it like they call me BBL Drizzy because I done paid for BBLs for women. Nah, Drag, and that spin ain't gonna work, man. That's not gonna work. You should have went all in on making fun of yourself for the big ass.
Nice try.
Owned it.
Nice try.
It kind of reminds me what he did with the Rick Ross white boy thing.
Yeah,
that didn't work either.
Yeah,
like I get what he was going for. He said Rick calling me the white boy, and I swear that kind of got a ring to it because all these rappers waving white flags and something. Like, nah, I see what he tried to do. That didn't work.
Yeah,
and this one was even worse. So I see what he's trying to do, but it's not landing for me personally.
Yeah.
But the verse, I mean, it's not bad. I didn't listen to the whole song. I can't stand Sexy Red. I can't listen to a whole Sexy Red song, man. I'm sorry. But it was a cool little, I guess, summertime type of song. What were your thoughts on it, Figgy?
Yeah, I was shocked he dropped something this early like this. I guess it makes sense because well, this is more Sexy Red song, and this is she actually dropped a mixtape, but I'm kind of shocked he signed off on it this quick because I thought he was gonna get low for a little bit, but I guess he was fine with this one, and it was a little bit recent because the BBL part in the song. But yeah, it was cool, man. To me, it was typical Drake. Like, there's no big takeaway from this verse or anything. I thought I was listening closely. I thought he's gonna throw some type of shot, and when I heard the BBL Drizzy beat, then I'm thinking like, oh, maybe he gonna tell Metro to thank you for playing some drums, nigga, or something. But yeah, man. Hey, this is probably the best thing for Drake to do. Just move on, man, and just keep it. Don't do what he been doing with Pusha T, and just keep throwing shots and everything, man. Just move on. Just like he said, the summer vibes is next. Just keep going. Just go to the summer vibes, man.
Yeah, he got to get back to doing what he does best, man. He got to leave this beef shit alone. I'm sure when the album drops, he'll have a bunch of subs being thrown at Kendrick. I expect that, because nothing else interesting in his life has really happened that we care about. So of course he's gonna talk about it. But I mean, as far as singles go, he's got to just get past it. I saw him at a WNBA event because I guess they're putting a new WNBA team in Toronto.
Yeah,
and he was there as like the spokesperson or whatever. I don't know what kind of deal he had with them, but he was there, and it's kind of funny because the people who was keying with him were the same ones probably shitting on him about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it had to be weird being Drake right now, man. I'm not saying that because, of course, he's a multi-millionaire, but it has to be weird to go into a room of people that show you love, and like this person was laughing at you a couple weeks ago, dancing to a diss song about you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What's up, Mark Nash? See you on YouTube, man. What's going on, bro? I hope you're doing good.
What up?
Mark, you said that you thought Drake rapping over BBL Drizzy showed that he was a genius and showed he had a sense of humor. I mean, Drake is good at that. He's good at being self-deprecating when he wants to be. He had that video with Chris Brown where he made himself look real goofy too. Like, he is pretty good at that.
Yeah.
But also the cope is what I have a problem with. He does have these moments where he tries to cope himself into looking, trying to spin something, and it doesn't land, man. Like the whole BBL Drizzy thing, he tried to remix it. He should have just went all in. Like, yeah, I got my abs did. So the fuck what? Like, just fucking admit it, man. We don't care. But it's just funny to call him BBL Drizzy.
Yeah.
He also says, beef is distracting. Focus on your purpose and your paper. Yeah, but Drake asked for the beef, man. I'm not going to I don't know if you're a Drake fan. I'm not calling you a Drake fan, but I'm not going to let this narrative take root, dog. Drake asked for the beef, man. I don't want to hear now beef is distracting and now it's just focus on you. He asked for this, man. He asked for the smoke. He could have just spun past a little Kendrick. Let Kendrick throw his shots. Who cares? He asked for the beef. He begged for it, actually. So I can't accept that, man. Drake asked for it and he got smoked. It's not the end of the world, but
not only did he ask for it, I felt like he been in the beef before, and we see how it went with the whole Pusha T thing. We seen how that could have went totally left, and Jay Prince had to step in. So at that point, like, I'm not doing that. And look, I had no problem with Kendrick doing what he did in that song like that. I think Drake, I mean, if he just wanted to focus on paper, look, let me be clear. I like the back and forth. I didn't mind Drake stepping in with Kendrick and all that stuff, doing what he did. I like push-ups. But if he just wanted to focus on his paper and not get into all that, he should just throw a shot on another verse or something like that. He should have just kept it going how they've been doing for 15 years. So I think the Pusha T should have been the number one thing where he say, yeah, let's focus on this paper. let's not roll in the mud like that again.
Yeah, I mean, I think he learned that he really gained. Even if he thinks he won, which I'm sure he probably thinks he got the D. What did he win out of it? He gave the number one hit, the number one record in the country went to Kendrick for like 2 weeks straight off of Drake. So even if he thinks he won, what did he win? Drake is going to chart regardless. Now he gave his biggest enemy in music a boost, a stimulus for no reason. So yeah, man, we've been all through that, but it is what it is. Mark also says K-Dot started it. Nah, even Drake said that song did not start the beef with them, man. That beef been brewing for a long time. They both been throwing subliminals at them. What's up with the beige rage? Who taught you to hate yourself? All right, Malcolm, calm down, brother Malcolm. All right, this ain't the Nation of Islam, man. Calm down. But yeah, man, I guess we can officially give our final thoughts on the Drake and Kendrick beef now that it's over. Figgy, now that we've gotten all the songs we're gonna get, probably. I know there were rumors. Academics kept acting like Drake was gonna drop something. Apparently, Kendrick had more in the vault too. Yeah. That he's just not gonna release. So I've heard people say he had up to 10 songs that he was just gonna release. He was actually gonna release something after Not Like Us. But he decided, I guess that record just took off so big that he didn't feel like he needed to. Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently he had more in the vault that he just didn't drop. So yeah, man. Appreciate you sharing the link as well, Mark. We appreciate that, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah. We'll drop yours as well, man. Gotta keep the love going. But yeah, what are your final thoughts, I guess, on this beef? And where do you think it ranks on the biggest beef in hip hop? I know most people have Jay and Nas number one. Do you think this is bigger than that? And just what are your general thoughts on the beef now that's pretty much over?
I think this was bigger than Jay and Nas, man. I think this one, I think 20, 30, 40 years from now, we gonna be sitting here like, damn, I remember where I was at when this happened. Because it felt like it took years for like Kendrick to drop something. And then once he started dropping, then it just kept going where it was just like, man, like we gotta like we was really potting our asses off, man. So I don't think we ever seen anything like that. But however, as far as like the beef overall, man, I think it's popular to say Kendrick won and benefited the most out of this beef. But I feel like a lot of people sleeping on Family Matters, man. That was a really good song. I went back to that song a couple times way after, like after the dust has settled. That was a really good diss song, man. He addressed a lot in that song. He addressed a lot of people, which I kind of don't agree with. I wish it could have just been between him and Kendrick. I felt like Ross and ASAP Rock, I felt like all those people wasn't even worth mentioning at that moment. But Drake did a really good job with that diss song, man. And if it just had a couple more days for people to just keep playing that, I think it could have. I don't want to say he would have came out on top, but I think it would have been a real debate on who won that, and I probably would have been. It would have been a case where you say like if somebody said Drake won, I wouldn't have been like, nah, you crazy. It would have been really up for debate, but Kendrick, I think he was so smart at dropping a song right when Drake dropped his song, and that totally screwed everything up, man. And I think that part was genius. But I think a lot of people, I think the best song out of all of this was probably, to me, sonically, I feel like that Drake song, that Family Matters, was probably the best song. And Not Like Us was probably but is the biggest song. But my favorite song, man, the one I like to go to a lot is I like that 616 to LA. I like that song a lot. I think that song kind of getting slept on because it was a little I don't want to call it boring, but it was more like a hip hop type of sound. And I like that song a lot. I even went back, honestly, man. I think if this would have came out the right way, this song really would have did a lot of damage too. But the song Push Ups, I think that song was a good song too. But just the way how it came out and the leak one came out and we thought it was AI and people were like, no, this can't be it. This can't be it. It was kind of like the Texans uniform release where it came out and people was like, nah, this can't be it. Nah, this is trash. This ain't it. And then when they dropped the real one, it's like, okay, like this is not so bad after all. So I feel like that leak took the steam out of it. But overall, man, it was a really good back and forth. I think all of these songs were pretty much solid outside of the ones I really didn't care for was I ain't really care for the Taylor Made. And then I ain't care for the last song, the Heart Part 6. That I would deal with Taylor Made before I deal with the Heart Part 6, which is crazy because I felt like he was rapping his ass off on the Heart Part 6. But Taylor Made, I ain't really care for the Tupac and Snoop stuff in it. But however, I do think it was super creative, man. I think it was really creative. I think he did it wrong.
Yeah, I agree, man. I feel like when you go back and listen to every song, which I did a couple weeks ago, when you listen to every song in this beef, it feels like a movie playing out, man. You know, you got the foreshadowing, you got people saying one thing in one song, and then a couple songs later it comes back again. Like it feels very cinematic, man. I don't think we've ever had this in rap before. You know, I'm thinking people don't want to put this as the number one rap beef of all time because recency bias and whatnot, and they don't want to say anything's bigger than Jay and Nas or Biggie and Tupac. I don't even count Biggie and Tupac. That wasn't really real beef because Biggie didn't engage directly. Yeah. But this has to be the greatest one ever, man. That week when Family Matters and Meet the Grams and 616 in LA and Not Like Us, that has to be the best week ever in rap, man.
And Euphoria, man. Euphoria.
Yes,
Euphoria
earlier, yeah. That has to be the best week ever in rap in terms of like two rappers going at it. Pause.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything better, man, or bigger. People don't want to. I was looking at people try to say it wasn't. I'm like, give me an example of something that was bigger, a week that was bigger than that.
Yeah.
You can't. In the social media era too, nothing compares to it, man.
Yeah.
So,
and then the other thing is too, like the other beefs that happened, like let's say Jay-Z and Nas. I felt like that was a good back and forth, but I think the one that to me why I wouldn't put it over this one is it took months. And I know that was a whole different era, so they wasn't just dropping back and forth like that. But it took a long time to hear a response. And two, they really wasn't really they wasn't really giving up anything, man. It was a lot of raps, but it was just a lot of regular insults, man. So it wasn't like all of this stuff that's going on. And I know a lot of people don't really like the messy drama and all that stuff. And I ain't saying that's why this one is better. But like you said, man, like it started as a clean little jab. And then you seen the J. Cole part, if you want to add the J. Cole part to it. And then he took his song back. And then I want to say Drake dropped something. And then he was saying like, hey, you want to keep it PG. And then Kendrick dropped and pretty much saying, don't tell no lies about me. I won't tell truths about you. And said, hey, we could just keep it here. It was like all of this, hey, keep it here, keep it here. And Drake took it there. Kendrick took it there. And it just got messy, man. It was just think about somebody at a lunch table and they get ready to fight. And they talking like they want to fight, and somebody throw something at them, and then somebody else throw something at them, and they just go back and forth, and then take somebody just throw the milk at them, and then now it's on. That's what it felt like you was sitting there watching, man. But I think to me, like I agree with you, man. I don't see nothing else. Even I was even thinking about like NWA and Ice Cube and No Vaseline and all that stuff. Like to me, those were really good songs, but it wasn't like this. It wasn't like, hey, let's hit this his friendly jab, and then it was like a fight we was waiting on for years, and it finally happened, and it was like a really good fight.
No, it was, man. And that's the thing that really surprised me because I was prepared to be disappointed in this battle, man. I was prepared to be let down because a lot of things that reached this level just let us down, especially with these newer rappers, man. I'm used to being let down by these type of antics. But I give them both credit, man. Drake and Kendrick equally. They got in the mud for us. Okay. They didn't have to do this. They're already rich, famous, successful. They didn't have to do this for clout. They already have all the clout they need. They did this to entertain, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was personal beef, but they didn't have to put this out there for public consumption. But they did it for us, man. We asked for it and they delivered. So salute to both of them, man, for giving us some great hip hop entertainment. No matter what you think, who won or who lost, you have to admit it was great entertainment, man. For an entire couple weeks, I didn't have to see no relationship drama posts on Twitter, no bullshit hypotheticals on Instagram. I don't even know Instagram like that, but I have to see no. Oh, if your man's making you pay for half the rent, he's a roommate. He's not your man. I'm seeing that shit again now. I didn't see that for 2 weeks straight, thanks to Kendrick and Drake. So thank you, Kendrick and Drake, for at least sparing us for 2 weeks straight of any of that.
Yeah. Look, man, I enjoyed this, man. Even honestly, even the dialogue on social media, it got a little irritating with the stands, the battle with the stands.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan of both, but I'm not no stan of either one of them. And Kendrick stands, Drake stands, they were both irritating. So that's the part I was kind of a little irritated at, but it didn't bother me as much, man. I enjoyed this a lot. And hip hop won on this one.
Yeah, but Bolas Paludas on YouTube says, how you big stepping with the size of the men's on. Think he didn't like the short jokes, man.
I know, I was offended.
I thought it was kind of funny.
I wear 7.5, 8. So I was a little offended.
There was a bar on Family Matters I still get, one of the beginning bars where he's like, Kendrick still think I'm talking over him. I can't help it. Something like, no matter what I say, it go over his head. I thought that was a funny little short joke, man. It wasn't as blatant as the push-up stuff, but I thought that was a little clever double entendre about that. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I said, I think Kendrick won it pretty cleanly after that last couple of songs that came out. But I think it was a great showing. And if somebody says Drake, they think Drake won because Family Matters is the best song, I can't argue too much against that, man. Okay. Yeah. I get the argument. I don't agree with it, but I get it.
Yeah.
But just don't be screaming and crying like Maul and academics over this shit, man. Don't make yourself look stupid when you're trying to defend Drake. At least be calm and peaceful about it.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. He completely embarrassed himself, man. This is the real loser. If we talking about somebody who lost his beef, I think it was Maul. I think I think Drake came out looking better than Maul. Like at least Drake is on a high note because I felt like Drake, he wasn't like this when Pusha T during the battle with Pusha T. This one, he can still walk around. He's still outside. He joking around still. So, I felt like he came out like I don't feel like he came out hurt. Like at least he's still good. He releasing music and all this other stuff or this feature. But Maul came out looking bad, man. I don't know how much money he got paid, but he came out looking bad. And we were sitting there talking about Cam and Mace because they had their OVO jackets on, But at least after a while, they was just like, yeah, Kendrick, he up on this one. He got this. I forgot which one. I think they might have said Meet the Grams was the I don't know if they said better song or what. But he because remember at one point they said Drake was winning and all this other stuff. But then when Kendrick dropped, they're just like, oh yeah, Kendrick in the lead right now. At least they was being a little honest.
Yeah.
But I felt like Maul wasn't honest at all. He was just acting like everything Kendrick dropped was just whack. And I don't know. I just didn't get that, man.
Yeah, I don't know what's with him, man. People brought up the fact that he's 42. I keep forgetting he's that old. Look, I'm not too far off, but like the emotional way he defended Drake was just disturbing, man. Like he really jumped all the way out the window for him. Dog. I really don't understand what kind of relationship they have. I just thought they was kind of cool. I didn't think that they talked like every day or some shit, but he defended Drake like that was his nigga, like his best friend or something, man. Like it was ridiculous. So yeah, some people really showed their ass. Academics as well was one of them. Now he's trying to jump back on the Drake train. You see him on Twitter trying to gas up this sexy red shit. It's like, come on, man, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really understand people who are that old who are super passionate about standing any rapper, man. I don't trust anybody like that in general. How are you 40 years old screaming about a rapper, dog? Like, yeah. I just don't get it, man. I understand being passionate, but he just went way overboard. I don't know what happened, but hopefully he calms down a little bit.
I don't know who I can stand like just in life period that much. Like think about it, who is somebody you would defend that much in just any way, shape, or form. You don't care what they do, they right or they won or they better. Like I don't know if I wouldn't even do that with Jay-Z, man.
Dog, I would shit on. I think Jay-Z's the best, but I would shit on him more than I would gas him up like that. Honestly,
yeah.
Like I'm not even
like it's a bunch. Like we could have a whole podcast on the worst Jay-Z songs or the worst Jay-Z moments, and I feel comfortable with that. I don't know anybody I could defend like that, man. Like LeBron James, and LeBron is from Akron. Like I wouldn't defend LeBron like that. It's a bunch of people. I was a Dipset fan. I wouldn't defend them like that. I don't know anybody I would do that to.
I think as far as black men go, especially older ones, the ones they are most passionate about in general about defending are athletes, man. It's going to be Michael Jordan is one that they'll scream and cry about defending him. And now Kobe's up there too. I mean, Kobe was already there, but especially after he died, it's gotten way more passionate. So yeah, the whole Meet Me in Temecula thing from this Black Twitter documentary reminded me of that shit too, man. We'll talk about that in a little bit because we did watch at least one episode of the Black Twitter documentary on Hulu, like we promised, and we'll talk about that BS in a little bit. But time for topics, man. A lot happened this week and this past couple of weeks. I guess the biggest thing, of course, is the leaked Diddy and Cassie video. There was a video. I'm sure you've all seen it by now. It's been everywhere. Diddy is seen assaulting Cassie as she's trying to leave with the bag. He pulls her down. He kicks her in the butt like he's doing a penalty kick in soccer, man. He really leans back into it. And he's dragging her back to the hotel room. It's just a nasty look, man. It's a nasty look. It kind of, and this was something that was also mentioned in the lawsuit as well. And keep in mind that a few months ago, Diddy came out and said that all these allegations aren't true. Yeah. So it makes him look really stupid now. Not like we trusted him anyway at that point. But he did make a video apologizing. He basically said his actions were unexcusable and he doesn't expect forgiveness, blah, blah. Very PR trained apology. I've noticed recently, sidebar, all these apology videos now follow the same format. Like number one, they never try to explain themselves. They never try to explain themselves, man. They used to, but now they don't. They always say, They just say, I'm seeking, there's always mention of therapy. There's always mention therapy. They mention I'm seeking help. Same thing what Soulja Boy did when he made that tweet after going in on Metro Boom's dead mother for some reason. He made a tweet saying he's going to get help for anger management or whatever the fuck. These are all the same, man. They follow the same format. They don't make excuses. They don't ask for forgiveness. And they're very just to the point of I fucked up, basically.
Yeah.
But anyway, he released that video, and it's been getting a lot of talk. Of course, Cassie made a statement as well, kind of addressing it and saying she's still healing and all that stuff. So, Figgy, what are your thoughts? I know we've been covering Diddy Gate for a while now. What are your thoughts about the video itself? And I mean, if he wasn't cooked already, is this officially going to be the end of the diddler?
Yeah, I think this is the end, man. And we talk about this all the time. All it takes is to show a video, and we seen it in history where some people, or at least with Black history, like they can possibly get away with certain stuff, but once you see a video or something like that, and that was a bad video, man. That looked awful, and I feel for her because even when she filed that lawsuit and all that, it was still a lot of people that was like, nah, she lying, and she's doing this for the money and all this other stuff. And for that video to come out and it show you exactly what's in the lawsuit, that says a lot, man. So yeah, I think it's over with, man. I don't know what he can do. I seen something where they say they can't really charge him for that.
Yeah, the statute of limitations is up. So
yeah, so I don't know if they're gonna try to get around that or if they got other stuff that they will get him on. But yeah, it's sad, man. This is not a good look. I really didn't understand the apology, man. Like I felt like, if I'm his team, I would probably tell him to shut the hell up, get off of social media, go into hiding for right now until we figure something out. And it seemed like he's still out and about. They showed a picture with him and King Los. They was walking down the street. I guess I don't know if they was in Cali or Miami or something. I don't know where they was at, but he was out and about. TMZ caught him. And the apology, I just don't get it, man. It just, to me, nothing you say, and I see a lot of people saying the apology was weak. The apology could have been the best apology ever, man. It's like that don't change anything, man. Like people at that point, people don't want to hear no apology after seeing a video like that. And by the way, that video was some years ago. So to me at that point, I know people. I'm sure if he ain't say anything, people be like, "Hey, Diddy still ain't said nothing or make any." I'm sure somebody probably want him to speak on it, but I felt like it served no purpose putting out an apology. I felt like that type of stuff actually makes stuff worse than what it is. So I really didn't get that, but I am kind of shocked at a lot of people that was kind of quiet at the beginning. Now just kicking this back in, just like I felt it's like they feel free enough to do it because and to me that says a lot too. To me that says that I don't think Diddy gonna be the same Diddy. So maybe he's not gonna be that powerful guy. Maybe he is going away for good. But to see people like Joe Budden just, pretty much calling him a sack of shit, you see all type of people that have been defending him for a minute just going in on him. I mean, I hate to report this, but you see the Young Miami's unfollowing him on Instagram.
Yeah, LeBron and Meek Mill.
Yeah, so just stuff like that. Now it's like people trying to say, all right, let me step away from this guy now. But before it was just like, oh, he cool, I ain't gonna say nothing. But now it's like, it's time to protect my brand. So to me, that says a lot too. But as far as the video, man, the video speaks for itself. It was ugly, and I don't see Diddy being the same Diddy at all. I didn't think he would be, but now I think it's definitely over. I don't see brands or anything, partner up with him. And honestly, people that did partner up with him on some stuff, that kind of look a little funny in the light. So just seeing the whole people that was really like so close to him with Revolt and just all these close partners, I just feel like it's starting to look a little funny in the light, man. So I'm curious to see if they just going to shut Diddy down before anything else get out, because maybe it could get worse for everyone or what. So I don't know. I'm gonna be paying attention now.
Yeah. I think this is officially the end, man. The video ended any hope of him coming back to relevance. Is it relevance or I'm losing my damn mind, man? I'm having a stroke over here. Relevance is now gone. It is exactly what you think it's going to be from now on. Even I don't even know if he's going to go to jail. There's still been no charges pressed, by the way. So people wondering, like, is he going to go to jail or not? He hasn't even been charged with anything. So if that happens, I'm sure, we'll see what happens. But as far as his career outside of that, it is done now, man. He got to go into a whole nother market and do something. He might have to go to a foreign country and just maybe do Afro beats or something, man. I don't know. Get into a whole nother bag somewhere else where they might not care about that type of shit.
Have to hit up Russell Simmons, like, hey,
what's going on over there, man?
House over there, man. Have to stay with him for a little bit.
Yeah, he got to go somewhere else, man, because I think it might be over for him in America. I don't see how he'll ever be relevant again in terms of music or entertainment or anything.
Yeah.
Bolas asked on YouTube, you see Joe Budden ex Tahiri having flashbacks from Cassie video? Yeah, man, I have to say, like, I am shocked that Joe Budden's domestic issues with women have been well documented now. I'm really surprised he skated all that, man. Like, I have to be honest, I know he's been vocal about this Diddy thing, and it comes off as hypocritical because, we've had the whole thing with Esther Baxter, and he sat on her stomach and had her miscarriage and all that shit. And like this stuff he's kind of like soft admitted as well too. So like it's kind of hypocritical for him to even speak on Diddy. I kind of wish he just wouldn't do it, because no matter what he says, he's gonna sound stupid, because he's somebody who's been documented for doing this type of shit as well. So
and that's the other thing too, because like I see a lot of stuff on my timeline, and mind you, this video, I want to say the video of Cassie and Diddy came out Friday, and his podcast was recording when it happened. And so I guess they addressed it real quick, but they ain't really have, they ain't had time to deep dive into it. And so I guess when the podcast officially came out the next day, they took it out. So a lot of people was real upset. Like, we want to hear what you got to say. Why you do that? And you ain't addressing the Diddy stuff. And in my mind, I'm like, I kind of don't want them to talk about it, man. Like, I feel like the video speak for itself. I don't know what else you can actually say, man. Like, I feel like the only thing that's best to say is that was an ugly video. I don't condone that. And he is not a good person for that. But people kind of want them to do like a deep dive into it, and I'm just like, I'd rather y'all talk about jokes and kind of, I don't know. I feel like they putting a standard on him to address everything, and I'm like, it's certain stuff I don't really care for him to address. Like, I want him to do a deep dive on this, because now that he's doing a deep dive on this, you got somebody like Tahiri that's saying the nerve of this dude, or it might be some other women saying the nerve of this dude sitting here talking like this, and he doing the same thing or did the same thing allegedly. So I ain't really get people so thirsty to try to hear what he had to say about this. I don't know.
Yeah, man. And the thing about that podcast as well, and it's kind of that's what makes it a little too real. You ever be talking with your boys about some random thing in the news, and there's got to be like one person that got to be devil's advocate and say, "What about? Hey, are we sure that R. Kelly? I think these girls probably wanted it, man. Like, there's got to always be that one person.
I look at the parents.
Yeah. There's always that one devil's advocate type of person when you hang out with your boys, and somebody got to be the contrarian. That's what the Joe Budden podcast is, man. There's always gonna be somebody that go against the grain. They never all agree on something. So if they talk about Diddy, it's going to get to a point where somebody's like, hey, why didn't Cassie leave already? Hey, why didn't she do this? Why didn't she call the police? That's going to come up, man.
Yeah.
And that's why I'd rather them not, because that's fine when you talk about hip hop and not serious topics. Yeah, you could be devil's advocate all day if you want. I don't care. But when you talk about things like this, man, you can't have somebody just trying to stir shit up and being like, ask those type of questions, man. So I'd rather them not talk about the whole thing if that's where it's going to lead, because I'm pretty sure it would eventually lead there. We saw how the Tory Lane shit ended, man. They really thought that he was innocent. So, yeah, man. I'd rather them not. I'd rather them keep the podcast lighthearted in general. I don't think everybody needs to talk about, abuse and sexual assault just because there's a famous name attached to it. I think some things can be just entertainment, and we don't have to bleed everything in together.
Yeah, and not only that though, but when you address something like this, and then a friend of yours or somebody you close with, get in that same boat, then they want you to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it like this, but we treat our friends a little more different than somebody we don't have a relationship with. So, like, if I could be sitting here, talking a lot of smack about Diddy, but if a cousin of mine get into a situation like that, I probably won't be talking all of that smack like I was talking to Diddy to my cousin. I might shoot him a little bail or something. I might be like, man, that was bad for him to do this, and I hope he get the help he deserves. And people gonna be like, oh, why you ain't had that same energy for him like you did with Dick? And it's like, that's why it's pointless to even have those type of conversations, man. I feel like people put you on a pedestal and want you to address everything and call it how it is. And in real life, we don't do that in real life, man. Like you would shoot, you might talk smack about a female and what she did, but if your sister did it, you might give her some grace because that's your sister. So I think that's how life is. And they want you to, like, they've been wanting Joe Budden to go in on Diddy from the beginning. And I think he was protecting that relationship at first. And now he's doing this, and now it's people like, oh, now you want to do this when everybody else is doing, or when you've seen the video. So it's like it's a lose-lose situation. And it's, to me, I feel like it's not that big of a deal to do a deep dive into it. Like, you can address, I'm not saying don't address it, but to do a deep dive, I think they had like a therapist on or something like that, where I'm just like, man, there ain't no point in doing that, man.
Yeah, sometimes I just want to hear a podcast be entertained, man. I always try to keep things lighthearted here. We touch on things, but I don't want to hear like too serious of a topic on podcasts when I'm listening, man. Because I'm trying to be entertained. Life is hard enough for people as is. You got to have a space where it's just can be jokes and entertainment. I don't think we need everybody to touch on everything just because it's a big name attached, man. So I'd rather them just keep it fun and hip hop or entertainment or whatever, instead of trying to, like you said, bring a therapist on. Like, dog, who wants to hear that, man?
Yeah.
Who does it in your free time? I really want to hear this therapist talk about abuse, domestic violence and abusive relationships, man. No, I don't want to hear that. I'm sorry. There's a time and place for everything, and I don't think a hip hop podcast is it. But
yeah, no, I agree.
Well, speaking of, there was also an interview, which I guess ended up not being that serious. Cameron was on CNN. He was on Newsnight with Abby Phillips. He had an interview. He was asked several questions about Diddy. We have the video here. Well, fuck it. Let's just react to it, man. I want to see it again. This is shit.
Thanks for being here. First, when you saw that video of Diddy, Cassie in that hotel, did you recognize that Sean Combs?
What I want to say, first of all, when I seen the video, everything in the video was egregious. I'm against. I don't support all the charges that's alleged against him. I don't support any of that trafficking, minors, domestic violence. I'm totally against it. So when I seen the video, yeah, I was kind of upset with it. Being that I know him, he's not necessarily a friend, but yeah, I was upset when I seen it. But
did you recognize?
Real quick, I just want to say that was the perfect answer.
Yes.
I felt like he gave a great answer. And I'll get to this later on, but I'm going to keep playing the video.
And by the way, for people who haven't seen him, he's wearing a Dipset shirt. Low key, I want that Dipset shirt, by the way, man. That should look clean.
Yeah.
He's wearing sunglasses and a bucket hat. So, all right, keep it going.
Did you recognize that kind of anger at all from your experiences?
I don't know like that. What do you mean? Do I be recognized? Did I recognize him? I seen him. What do you mean my experiences? I seen him and I thought it was disgusting. I didn't do a zoom in to see if it was really him or nothing, but he admitted it was him. So yeah, it was him.
What did you think about the apology that he gave in that other video?
Ain't me for this. The apology ain't for me to decide, for Cassie. What I think about it don't matter. He ain't do nothing to me. Cassie need to ask Cassie if she accept the apology. I told you how I feel. I said what I said.
I want to play a conversation that you had on your podcast back in September with Mace. Listen.
Yeah.
When you had your record deal, why did you take me to Biggie Smalls and not Bad Boy?
Man, it's almost gonna bring me to tears to say this. I just, being that I saw you as such a good friend, I wanted to put you with somebody I knew with.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. A lot of people ask me that on Instagram, man. Don't have me that's out here crying and shit, man. I don't want to get emotional in here, man.
Instantly, I knew Biggie would do right by you.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? I mean, is there something known in the industry about how Diddy treated his artists?
Now he's drinking his Viagra juice.
So I'm going to get some cheeks after this horsepower drink. I'm just going off what Mace said. Mace took me to Biggie. I don't really know Puffers like Mace know Puff. So I appreciate what Mace said. And of course, that's my brother. So if he felt that way, then he felt that way. I can't really tell you how Puff moves or anything like that. Mace may know better than me because he was signed to Puff. I wasn't. But my show does come on at 8 a.m. Eastern on YouTube. It's called It Is What It Is. And y'all make sure y'all check it out. I mean, I might get some more information out of Mace from there. But for me to tell you how Puff act and all that, I don't know. I never was signed to him.
Yeah. What about the industry in general? I mean, so many people have pointed out that Diddy couldn't get away with this stuff if there weren't a lot of people protecting him. Do you think that's the case?
Who the talent agent for this joint? Like, you think I'll be sitting around watching what Diddy do and all this? I didn't know this was a Diddy joint that I was invited me to. Yo, who booked me for this joint?
All right.
Wow, and I'll be sitting around watching Diddy and all that.
Yeah, thanks.
Man, come on, man.
Thanks for joining us. Thank you for your time tonight.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. You enjoy.
So yeah, this of course this went viral. And Cameron did talk about it on It Is What It Is with Mace, basically saying that, you know, they should have known who they were booking for this type of interview. And he said what he said, but he also had an issue with people only bringing him on to talk about Diddy or things scandalous and not promote his show or business or whatever. But some people were upset, man. Some people thought it was very juvenile. You know, Cameron's almost 50 years old at this point. They thought it was really silly for him to do this. Some people understood. Figgy, what was your feeling about this when you saw this interview? Did you think it was immature, or you think it was about right for what it was?
I think. Look, I got to be honest. I feel like Cam. I feel like if you take it there with Cam, he would be immature. I feel like if you was honest with him and you actually had a real interview, I feel like he wouldn't do that. Like I've seen interviews where Cam wasn't being ignorant and all that stuff. But I had an issue with people that was saying like, oh, why is he dressed like that? Or when is Cam gonna grow up and all this other stuff? And it's like, have you seen the history of Cameron doing these interviews? And like I said, if it was, and salute to the lady that was interviewing him. I think she did all she could do. I'm not saying it's her fault, but I do think they should have did a little more research on who they was booking, because one, Cam was right. He wasn't signed to Diddy, and he probably got I'm sure he got pictures with Diddy and all that stuff, but it seemed like they didn't really have a relationship, and they both from Harlem. So you would think they have like a relationship, but you realize it seemed like Dame Dash never really had a relationship. It seemed like it was always distance when it comes to like Cam, when it comes to like Dipset, or even like Dame Dash. It seemed like they was kind of distance from Diddy for some reason, and we always hear the slogan "Harlem stick together." It seemed like they really wasn't together like that. So to me, that didn't. Damn, this damn that. Damn that in my.
I hate that, man. I hate that shit too.
Yeah. But it seemed like it's like it seemed like they didn't really do the research, because you would think they'd try to go after Mace. Let's get the guy that was actually signed with Bad Boy, or somebody else that was signed with Bad Boy. But out of all people, you just get Cameron. It seemed like I don't know who. I don't want to be Cameron saying who was booking this joint, but it seemed like you would think it was somebody that didn't know anything about hip hop, and they just said, "Hey, Cameron, let's try to get Cameron on here." He was almost signed to Puff, so to me, I felt like that was kind of a bad job on them. But as far as Cam being immature, man, look, I'm not about to get into all that saying, "Oh, you 50 years old, you need to grow up," and all this other stuff. He do a lot of stuff that's not like that. he like a lot of his content ain't like that. So god damn. But yeah, man, I think this was also a couple things. You could tell CNN was a little bit unorganized with this, because the clip they played from that podcast, he actually cussed in it. So I don't listen to CNN all the time, but
I think it's cable news. Technically, I don't think they're supposed to be cussing, but they can. I don't think anything.
Yeah, but I don't think they would have let that. They probably would have beat that if they probably knew that. My guess is they probably played it on the fly. Probably thought it wasn't really cussing in it. But it seemed like it seemed like she was just trying to grab something from him. And he was just like not giving her anything. And I thought he gave a great answer for the first part. I thought that was a perfect answer. And I just don't understand how people gonna sit up here and say he need to be more mature. Because originally, when I first before I saw the clip, before I saw the whole interview, I kept seeing the part where he was drinking that horsepower shit. So I'm thinking like, damn, like that was the only part I kept seeing. And then this is how you get. This is why you got to really watch everything from beginning to end. Because when I seen it from the beginning to end, I'm like, I don't have a problem with what he did at this point, because he gave an answer. And then I want to say the second or third answer, you could tell he got a little snippy, and he was like, yeah, I don't really know him like that. Hey, that's all I got on that. And I think at that point, she should have, moved on to something else at that point. I mean, As far as Cameron talking about, how you don't have us on there for something positive, I got to push back on that a little bit because the news, a lot of the times the positive stuff don't really sell. The positive stuff don't really get the ratings. It's always the scandals. It's the Diddy stuff. The reason why they talking about it, that type of stuff they look for, and so that's why they reached out to him. So I think it's I had to push back on that with Cam. I don't think they just gonna grab somebody and be like, hey, talk about the positive things you're doing in the neighborhood, because a lot of people probably gonna switch. But I think at that point, that lady knew she got all she can get out of them. At that point, I would have probably switched gears and said, hey, so tell me about what you got going on. I probably would have did something like that and just get off the Diddy part. But I have no issue with what he did, man. I think if people watch the very beginning of that interview, he answered the question as best as he can. And it seemed like she kept asking the same shit. So he got a little irritated and he started acting like Cam.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't know what the booking decision was like. CNN didn't say anything as far as I've seen. But I know Mace, when they did talk about it on the It Is What It Is show, Mace said that he's saving his thoughts on Diddy for the documentary. I don't know if that's a joke or they're actually making something. I guess actually because they have the 50 Cent thing coming out. So maybe he's part of that. He said he's saving his thoughts for then. And he's always kind of shot down talking about Diddy openly on the show, man. He's kind of skated around. He hasn't really done it. So I have to guess that CNN did ask Mace and Mace turned him down. And I think maybe they asked Cameron and Cameron was like, yeah, I'll go on CNN. But I have to assume they asked Mace first. I don't see why you would have a show with Mace and Cameron. Mace, who was signed to Diddy, had several huge songs with him, and you go to Cameron first. So I have to assume they probably reached out to Mace and he turned him down. As far as Cameron's behavior on it, I thought it was very funny. I thought it was classic vintage Cameron. And look, he could have been a lot worse. He has been a lot worse. The CNN 60, not CNN, but the 60 Minutes interview where he said that if a pedophile was living next door to him,
killer,
police. Yeah, serial killer. That's right. I thought it was a pedophile for some reason. He said if a serial killer was living next door to him, he would not call the police. He would just move.
Yeah.
So he says things like that. He could have been in full ignorant mode. I think he was more mature here than he has been in the past. He wasn't sticking his finger in Bill O'Reilly's face saying, you mad, you mad. Yeah. Cameron and what didn't show up to the interview, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, the interview was very goofy. Like, he gave you all he can give you. He explicitly stated that he didn't know Puffy that well. They have been around each other, but it's kind of like if somebody we work with at the station that we didn't talk to did something crazy and they interview us about it. Like, I don't know what I can say. I don't really know them. Never talked. And if somebody keeps asking you the same question about him, I'm like, look, man, I don't know him.
Yeah.
So that's the only issue I had with Cameron. He didn't have to do the horsepower thing. This is a story about like sexual assault and shit. I don't think he had to put that in there. But yeah, man. Other than that, I had no issue with it. It was a goofy interview. She should have detected it was going to go south and tried to transition into something, but it seemed like she just kept picking at it. It seemed like she was kind of on autopilot. She was like, talk about Diddy no matter what. Get him to say something about Diddy. And it's obvious you're not going to get that at some point. And yeah, she just kept trying to dig and dig and dig, and it didn't work out. But I had no issue with it, man. Look, Cameron is an entertainer. He is this guy. Even if he's 50 plus, like, I don't expect him to suddenly turn into a church minister, man. All right. He's always going to be Cameron. He's an entertainer. He's a funny guy. If you bring some old comedian like Weird Al Yankovic to talk about something serious, you think he's not going to be funny?
Yeah.
Like, people are, if you're an entertainer, you're going to be funny, man.
Yeah,
So, I had no issue with it.
Imagine telling somebody he needed to be more mature. Imagine telling Jim Carrey he need to grow up.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Jim Carrey has grown up too much. Like he's gotten too serious lately.
Boring, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's like, if you get him on an interview, he probably won't be funny at all. That's how he is now. But everybody else who's a comedian who's older, they gonna tell a couple jokes, man. Even Jerry Seinfeld gonna keep it lighthearted.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, Cameron is who he is. They should have looked into who he is before they booked this whole thing with him. Maybe they shouldn't have done it live at the very least.
Yeah, just imagine if that's the part that got me. Like they actually booked him without doing any research on how he is in interviews. Just imagine if I decide to book Ronald McDonald, and then I get upset because he's being Ronald McDonald and sitting here looking like a clown, dressed like a clown, and all that. It's like you should have known what you was booking. So could Cam handle that a little better and just kept it professional? I guess, sure, but it's Cameron, man. He did what he wanted to do. He said, "I see where this is going. I'm about to promote my shit real quick, man. Fuck this." And I think, look, I put the blame on CNN, man. Like you got to be careful. You really got to be careful. You really got to do some research on how certain people are, man. If you getting a rapper, you got to check and see, is he like, how is he in these type of interviews or something like that? Like you got to watch it.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you booked Charleston White and he said something crazy about George Floyd and we were offended. Like, who do we think we're gonna get, man? Like, this is his whole brand is making people upset with this shit. So
like if we was to book him for an interview, I'm prepared for him to say something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And look, shout out to my boy ESG. Whenever we had ESG on, we prepared for something crazy he gonna say.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be sitting there like, man, he need to grow up. No, man, that's his personality.
Yeah, it is 100%, man. So yeah, I had no issue with it personally. Some people had an issue about it being a black woman and him acting like this in front of a black woman. I'm like, look at his past interviews, man. He's done this with everybody. Okay, no, every mainstream journalist that's interviewed him, he's acted like this.
I see people say he need to put on a suit. Cameron ain't got to do whatever. Cameron can do whatever he wants, man. Like, is he out here trying to impress somebody, or he don't give two fucks about that shit, man. Cameron, I think I would say Cameron is probably happy where he is in life. He love what he doing. He doing the show with one of his best friends, his childhood best friends, and he's good. He's not trying to get on CNN. He's perfectly fine where he is. So if he want to wear a Dipset shirt and a bucket hat with glasses, then he's gonna do it. It's not like me trying to, get somewhere. Like it'd be one thing for me to be sitting there dressed like this on CNN, and I probably should have wore a suit. But it's Cameron, man. He's fine.
Yeah. It was Cameron being Cameron, man. I had no issue with it. I thought the interview was goofy in general. Like if you're gonna interview somebody about Diddy, get somebody who worked with him. Get somebody who's close with him. There's plenty of ex-bad boy artists. Where's G Dep? I'm sure he ain't doing it. He just got out of prison, man. You probably could have hit him up. There's plenty of bad boy artists that he's worked with that can speak to how he moves as a businessman, as a person. Cameron did not work with Diddy like that. So, it was very silly in general.
Lower tier people too, man. It could have been hell.
Where's Day 26, man? Get them out. Making a band. Where's Dylon? You got plenty of people.
Yeah, he could have got Freddie. Get Freddie P. Where's Papa at?
Yeah, you got plenty of people you can reach out.
Talk about how he made y'all walk to get that cheesecake.
Yeah. Now there's plenty of people they could have reached out to. I felt like they just went for some big names because they were lazy. Like, well, can't we heard of Cameron? Get Cameron on. I'm like, okay, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, get Donnell Jones or somebody, man. Plenty of bad boy artists who just disappeared. We never heard from them again. Bring them back.
Yes.
Other things. Oh yeah, do y'all like lists? Have y'all not had enough of them yet? Do you guys like low effort engagement bait on social media? I know you do. So you're in luck because we have another top 100 list. Apple Music has now stepped into this bullshit area of social media, and they released their 100 best albums of all time. I will read off the top. Let's go to top 20. I'm not going to read this whole damn thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of scrolling through it. Astro World is 98.
Yeah. There are some things I think they were being funny with. Like they put Drake at they did. Where's Drake? I know they put
Usher Confessions at 95.
Yeah. I'm reading through some of these late ones. Tupac at number 62. Illmatic at 39. Let's just go top 20. Man.
Yeah, let's start at 20.
Number 20, The Beach Boys, Pet Sounds. Number 19, Dr. Dre, The Chronic. Number 18, Taylor Swift, 1989, Taylor's version. 17, Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? Joni Mitchell, number 16 for Blue. 15, Adele for 21. 14, Bob Dylan, Highway 61 Revisited. 13, Jay-Z, The Blueprint, controversial, not his best album. This glazing of the blueprint has got to end at some point, man. But whatever. 12, Radiohead, OK Computer. 11, Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. 10, Beyonce, Lemonade. 9, Nirvana, Nevermind. I like In Utero more, but whatever. 8, Amy Winehouse, Back to Black. 7, Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City, controversial.
Yeah, they still on the hype with the diss.
Yeah,
back and forth.
And not only that, people think that To Pimp a Butterfly should have been there instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, number 7, Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City. Number 6, Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. 5, Frank Ocean, Blonde.
This was crazy, man. I did not like this album.
Now I understand.
This Orange out. What's the? I think what's
Channel
the
Orange. Yeah,
it was a great
nostalgia Orange or something like that. Yeah,
I think it was Channel Orange.
Oh yeah, Nostalgia was something else. The one hit before that. But yeah,
that was a great album, man. I did not like this Blonde album at all, man. And I feel like I ain't seen nobody really talk about it.
I understand Frank Ocean has fans and he makes good music. To say he made an album better than Songs in the Key of Life is absurd, man. Like, let's be honest. What are we doing, dog?
And it's the wrong fucking album, man. Like, dog, if this was Channel Orange, I could at least be like, well, I like that album a lot, but you know, it ain't better than the Stevie Wonder one or hell, shoot, any of these albums. But dog, you got the one album nobody really talked about. I think this is the album that exclusively released on Apple at one point.
Yeah, part of this scam to get a bunch of money and then dip.
Yeah.
My boy Gene in the YouTube comments. What's up, Gene? Gene said Channel Orange was better for sure. Yeah, I like that album. I don't even remember Blonde, honestly, man. I think I heard it, but I don't remember it. The album art turned me off, man. I don't even want to listen. After that, I saw the art for the album cover. I didn't want to listen to it, man. But to say this album is better than Songs in the Key of Life, come on, man. Like, I know they want to put newer artists up there, but we got to do it within reason.
It's better than Marvin Gaye, What's Going On.
Yeah. Yeah, come on, man.
Better than The Chronic. And
come on, man.
And look, I think it's kind of ridiculous making a list like this anyway. Because how's you compare? Like, can you really compare The Chronic and Nirvana?
Yeah, it makes no sense, man.
I can't tell which one is the better album.
Or how do you put like Fleetwood Mac against any rap album? Like it don't even really belong.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Or Fleetwood Mac against Radiohead. And they put them right next to each other. Like they're so different, man. I don't see how you even put these together. But yeah, so number 6 was Songs in the Key of Life, CB Wonder. 5, Frank Ocean, Blonde. 4, Prince, Purple Rain. Prince and somebody else were the only people who had more than one album on here. And Prince had 2. Beatles, number 3, Abbey Road. Michael Jackson, Thriller, number 2. And number 1, the number 1 album of all time, according to Apple Music, is The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill by Lauryn Hill. Figgy, what are your thoughts?
This album, I mean, not this album, but this list is insane, man. This might be the worst list I ever seen in my life, man. It's bad for so many reasons, man. It's bad because, I mean, who is you to say the best album of all time, man? Like, it's one thing to say the best hip hop album or the best R&B album or the best rock album or something like that, but to sit there and say out of the whole genre of music, like no matter where you look, this Lauryn Hill album is the best of anything, like everything. That's like saying Tom Brady is the best just athlete ever, like over anybody. And you can't compare him to, how Jordan played or how Serena Williams played and all this other stuff. So it's ridiculous for so many reasons. And just think about this. So Lauryn Hill, this album is the best of all time. So this is better than Purple Rain. Is better than Marvin Gaye, What's Going On.
Thriller, man. Come on. Like, I know people, there's Thriller fatigue on social media. Nobody wants to put it as the number 1 album of all time anymore. But it's very hard to make an argument that it's not.
Yeah.
It's very hard to make an argument that it's not. And to put an album like Lauryn Hill's over Thriller.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Just imagine if you're a classic rock fan and you looking at this Pink. So The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd is number 28. That's a damn good album. I like that album.
Yeah.
Just imagine looking at that and then going to number 1 is like Lauryn Hill. Like, what the fuck? Or hell, I even say this Taylor Swift album. Like, damn, like all of this shit, like this Taylor Swift album is better than a lot of this shit. Like, it's better than and I ain't trying to cape for Miles Davis, but like that's better than Miles Davis. That's better than all these songs. I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. It's better than the Rolling Stones album. Like, it's gonna be hard to tell somebody Taylor Swift 1989 is a better album than Exile on Main Street.
Yeah, man. And Billie Eilish was ranked ahead of Ready to Die by Biggie.
How you feel about this in the little R&B stuff? So I mentioned earlier, Confessions was like 96 or 98, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
D'Angelo Voodoo is 57. Is that a better album than Confessions?
I mean, I listen to it more. I think it's aged better. But as far as bigger album, Confessions was that was like probably the closest thing to a Thriller type of album we'll ever get in our lifetime, man. Like, that album was everywhere. The hits were everywhere. It was unavoidable.
Yeah.
So yeah, but D'Angelo Voodoo, I think, has aged a lot better. You can go back to that album; it sounds a lot better. The Lil Jon production on Confessions, it sounds very 2000s, man. But yeah.
Music was always like that, though. He didn't have that he always had that smooth production that never ages.
Yeah.
Like, you could play D'Angelo anytime, and like, I don't think nobody be like, oh, what's this old music? This aged like milk. His music always aged well.
Yeah, no, definitely. So I'm not too mad at that. I mean, if you're not going by sales, I can see ranking Voodoo higher. I think Confessions might be a little too low. It should be
Yeah.
higher than that.
Yeah,
But I have no issue with ranking Voodoo ahead of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
And then what about this? Like you got the Eagles Hotel California. This is at 99.
Yeah, man. That's enough. Hotel California is like the white people's Thriller, I think, where maybe it's just too big. I believe that's still the best-selling album of all time. I think actually the greatest hits might be. But yeah, that might be people just tired of putting it way too high. But I mean, it's got to be higher than 99 or whatever the fuck it was. 90. Yeah, it was 99.
Yeah.
So you gonna put Astro World ahead of it?
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah. And then they got like a Rolling Stones album that's what I think in the top 20. It's just like, damn, I feel like that should be around there. You know what I mean? Like, because if you made a top 100 classic rock greatest album, I feel like it would be a top 10 album.
Yeah.
So this was a bad idea, just trying to lump in every genre of music. It just didn't make no sense to me, man.
Gene on YouTube says Lauryn Hill album is the most cursed on that list with the lawsuits, by the way. Damn, man. You saying Lauryn Hill a fraud? You saying she wasn't really writing them rhymes? You saying everybody else made that album what it was and not her? You saying that she don't deserve all them Grammys she got? You saying that she shouldn't have any kind of input in this album being that good because she was just there singing shit? You said it, not me. Gene put it out there, not me. But yeah, Lauryn Hill's been Robert Glasper and other people have gone in on her actual involvement in the album, and the fact that she never followed this album up speaks volumes, man. Let's be honest.
And she released music. I mean, I ain't gonna say it was great music or nothing, but she released shit in the past after that album, and it wasn't good, man. I don't think anybody can recite what she released.
Her live show is awful.
Yeah,
her live show is awful. Not even counting the coming late, man. I'm not even talking about that because I mean that is a problem. She might come 2 hours later, just cancel. But her live show was awful, man. And yeah, look, Lauryn Hill's kind of a fraud. I have to say it. Lauryn Hill's kind of a fraud, man. I'm not gonna say she's not talented, but this is a very one-hit wonder type of album, man. Gene said, I waited 3 hours for her to come out and perform. I only saw her once. She was on tour with Nas, and she actually came out on time, but her set was after Nas, and everybody just left after Nas was done. Yeah, everybody left after Nas was done, man. And even the head rap women were leaving, man. It was just not good. The songs didn't sound nothing like the album. It was just, I don't know what she was even performing at some point, but everybody just walked out. It was not good, man.
Damn.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe that album is the number one. I thought they would have had like Kendrick or something like that. I thought they would have been pandering.
I think they were looking for something that would be the least controversial on social media. And this was probably the only way they could go, where it's surprising, but a lot of people would defend it. You know, certain blue check Twitter would defend this, man. Okay, they wouldn't get a lot. Look, it's putting a prominent black woman at number one. I get it, and look, it's a great album. I'm not gonna knock the album. It's a great album, but this was a choice. It was a safe choice for them, I think. They were looking for something that wouldn't be too controversial with somebody who wasn't controversial. And we're not going to talk about the fact that they didn't put any Diddy albums on here, man. Obviously. Like, No Way Out's not on here. Okay, I get it. But you going to tell me that motherfucking Astro World's better than No Way Out? I don't know, man. But yeah. It's another list people can get mad at. engage with bait. Even Apple is like, hey, you know, we might have missed some things. Why don't you comment and let us know? Like and subscribe in the comments and let us know what you think, guys. Comment and say what you think we missed out on. Yeah, I'm not falling for this fucking engagement bait no more, man. I'm sick of it. Stop asking me to engage with your bullshit, man. Just get it right.
Yeah. Yeah, they won with this because they got everybody talking about this, but I just don't get trying to make a list like this, man. They's better off just separating. Let's do a classic rock. Let's do, R&B. Let's do rap. Like, you can't put all these genres together, man. It's impossible.
Yeah, it was them trying to make a little go viral on social media, and it worked. It worked. Ebro, I think, was involved in decision making too, because he's been trying to explain why Lauryn Hill's #1. So yeah, it was kind of corrupted from the start, but it is what it is. If y'all agree, let us know in the comments, man. What do you think? And don't forget to hit that notification button. Okay, hit that little tiny bell
right there.
Yeah. Other things, inside the NBA might be ending. Apparently there are some new players in play for the NBA rights, and it's looking like TNT might be getting left out. I believe TNT is owned by Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers doesn't want to pay more than what they've been paying, basically. And Amazon and NBC are now in the mix, and they seem to be wanting to shut out TNT, which could mean that inside the NBA, after like 20 plus years, I think at this point, is going to end. I think some people would say they moved on. Charles Barkley already talked about how his contract allows him to move if the rights are lost. But he's also said that Ernie probably won't leave. He probably just retire. Shaq said he would only do it if they're all together, but Shaq is going to follow a bag, man. He's going to go wherever. I think. And Kenny Smith, I don't think he's going to reject a bag either. But inside the NBA, as we know, it might be ending, man. What are your thoughts on it? And what do you think about, I guess, the future of NBA media?
Yeah, I think, it's been a long time, but all good things got to come to an end. It's 20 years, man. I ain't realized it was that long. I ain't realized they was around for 20 plus years. But yeah, man. I think the only issue I have with it is they already started the going away tour, and it's like it's not even this season; it's next season. So they're gonna be around next season, but now it's about to be the farewell tour. So that's the kind of the only issue I have with it. But yeah, I think it's I think it was a good show. I think we got enough moments to last us a lifetime. So it's not like, damn, man, they breaking the band up too early. No, I think this is perfect timing, man. So I'm okay with it. I think I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I think the NBA is actually going back to NBC. So you might hear the music, the music from back in the day.
Man, I'm sick of people going crazy about that. Do y'all know if you missed that theme so much, you could go on YouTube and type in NBA on NBC theme and just repeat it until you're sick of it? Why is everybody so excited to hear that song again? They gonna remix it with trap beats and it's gonna be terrible.
My issue with that is I felt like that theme song won't fit with today's NBA. Because when I hear that theme song, I think about Michael Jordan. I think about Scottie Pippen. I think about Penny Hardaway, Reggie Miller. You could just go down the list and just remember how they used to play that theme song. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and the Chicago Bulls take on Reggie Miller. Like who can you honestly do that with in today's NBA? I feel like that wouldn't sound right just with that music playing. LeBron James, Anthony Davis.
Anthony Edwards in a rematch with Nikola Jokic. It don't even sound right, man.
It don't sound right, man. I think, and plus, I think they use it for like, I want to say they use it for like college basketball too.
They use it for the Olympics. Any basketball thing the NBC runs, they use that thing, man. They use it when they run the Olympics too.
Yeah, so I just think it won't be the same. I don't know how they would do this because remember back in the day they used to have like the intros of they used to have the Jordan highlights with the music, the Pippen highlights, the Reggie Miller highlight, all that stuff. The way it used to look was dope. I just don't think I don't think it's gonna hit the same. So I mean it'd be cool to have it on NBC. I guess that's a like more of a public platform. So you probably see a little more basketball. But I don't know. I'm not really excited about the music. Like I'm not like, yeah, NBC coming back, so we gonna get this music, y'all. I don't think it's gonna hit the same because I only think about a couple people when I hear that music. But as far as inside the NBA, man, this has been a good run. I enjoyed that show. That was probably the best in studio show. I guess it's safe to say of all time, man. Like I don't know a show in that setting where they pretty much the pregame show for the whatever NBA game or a pregame show for whatever NFL game. I don't know a show that's better than that.
There was one game day back in the day with Michael Irvin and Deion Sanders and Warren Sapp. That was about as good as maybe better, but it was too short-lived and they canceled it after a while, man. So, but yeah, that was the only show I could think of that was up there. Their fuckery was insane, man. Deion Sanders and Michael Irvin alone.
I can't imagine, man.
That's where we losing recipes. That's where that came from.
Man,
women, they don't know how to cook. We're losing recipes. That's the only show I could think of that was as good or maybe better than Inside the NBA. Everything else is awful.
Yeah, and you kind of see them. You see people trying to imitate that a little bit. We're just like, no, ESPN tried to do that, but they keep trying Stephen A. out there. They keep trying Michael Wilborn out there. It's like, nah, this ain't it, man. So. Yeah, man, it's been a good run. I'm curious to see what Charles, Chuck, and Shaq gonna do going forward. And I know right now they saying, oh, we ain't doing this if Ernie ain't part of it. Man, if NBC give them the biggest bag ever, they gonna stick somebody right there to play Ernie. So I ain't really worried about that. And hell, I think honestly, if they want to, they could probably just do a podcast. So they probably get a bag just to keep those four together and do some content or something. So I'm not really worried about that, but it's gonna look. First of all, it's gonna look weird with no TNT and watching NBA on TNT. That's gonna be a little weird to get used to. But yeah, I think it'd be fine, man.
Yeah, I'm the same, man. people are really upset about this, but look, it was going to end eventually. All these dudes are like, these dudes are all either past 60 already or older than 60 or almost 60. Man, they're not going to do this forever. And it's going to get worse over time eventually. They're going to get replaced. They're going to try to bring in some new blood. They're trying to bring in Draymond already, man. And if you're going to replace somebody like Charles Barkley with Draymond Green, I'd rather you just stop it now, man. I don't want to see Inside the NBA with Draymond Green and Dwayne Wade and whoever other retired-ass player they want to put up there, Jamal Crawford. I don't want to see it, man. And I actually like Jamal Crawford on the play-by-play, but I don't want to see him in a studio show trying to tell jokes. So... yeah, man, this is something. Well, we were lucky to have it as long as we did, but it's going to end eventually. They're getting old. They're going to retire or pass on eventually, and they will be replaced, and it will be worse. So if we could have like a final season with everybody knowing this is it, and everybody just being unhinged, Charles Barkley just saying what the fuck ever because he knows they're done anyway. I'm down with that, man. I'm down with one final season where they know it's the end. They have that big emotional goodbye, and that's it. That's the best ending for Inside the NBA, I think, man.
I agree. I 100% agree. And not to mention, they still got a full season left.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we're gonna get some moments and all that stuff. So I'm perfectly fine with this, man. It was a good 20-year run, man. Like I ain't gonna sit here feel like they need 20 more. This is fine, man. It's about right.
It'll be weird without it being on, man. Same thing with The Simpsons. I don't watch The Simpsons, but it'll be weird when they finally cancel that show and it's finally done. Like a show that's been on since I've been young and a kid is now off.
That show damn near older than me.
It probably 1980. When did Simpsons start, man?
Yeah, I was born in 88. So I'm guessing around 88, 87.
The Simpsons started in 1989. So yeah, it's like
you got 80. Okay.
Wait, no, that's wait, when did it start?
So 87
it
started a short cartoon. Yeah.
Okay, so the first Simpsons thing aired 2 days before my birthday.
Damn.
No, 3 days before my birthday. So and it started the official show started in 1989.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty much as old as us, man.
Yeah. So I guess the family debuted on the Tracy Ullman show.
Yeah, it used to be like a little short on that variety show, Tracy Ullman.
Yeah.
It spun off to its own TV show.
Yeah.
So yeah, the show is old as us. So when
it ends, around my whole life. Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be weird when it ends, but I mean, life goes on, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna cry about Inside the NBA. I'll just be happy that it happened, and I think we're gonna get a fire last season. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about this Terence Howard and Joe Rogan interview too, man.
You watch it all?
No, man. I saw the clips. I personally just don't want to. I know it sounds corny, but I don't want to boost up Joe Rogan anymore. Like, I really don't fuck with him. So I don't even want to press play on Spotify and give him the fucking play, man. But I have watched the clips posted. And look, man, I'm going to say I'm riding with Terence Howard, dog. I think he's on to something, okay?
Oh, man, you one of those.
Yeah. Look, man, Terence Howard has to be currently the most interesting person alive, I feel, because I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but he's so convinced of it, and he's so matter of fact. And look, I've looked into people who actually have experience in what he's talking about, and they say he's not wrong. Their only problems are that he's assuming there's a relationship in things when there probably isn't. There's a lot of projecting there, but the stuff he's saying is not technically wrong. So the fact that the dude from Dead Presidents is going off about the periodic table and elements and fractions and all this shit is mind blowing to me, man. So look, he sold me whatever he's selling. I'm buying. I'm riding with Terence Howard, man. I think he's onto something. I think he's asking some important questions, and I'm riding with it, man. I don't know where he's going, but I want to see it. I want to see more.
I do think it's impressive. Like, I don't know if he's right or wrong, obviously, but I think it's impressive that you can even explain some stuff like that. Because let's say if I wanted to do that and lie and all this other stuff, I wouldn't sound like that. You'll know I don't know what I'm talking about, but to somebody like me, a regular old me, I'm sitting there like, dang, man, he sound right to me. So I thought it was impressive for him to just sit there and just try to explain everything, explain why this is right, explain why this is wrong, and why is 1 times 1 equals 1, and 1 times 1 should equal whatever he said. I don't know, but he sounded like he know what the hell he talking about. And like, I salute him for backing up his points and all that stuff, but I don't know. I'm not a Terence Howard guy, man. It pisses me off, man. I'm just like, man, what is this dude talking about? So, yeah, I was kind of impressed the way he was breaking all that down.
Even Joe Rogan had no idea what was going on, man. I think he was just lost. He was probably too high. Gene says it's like he's been on a years-long manic episode. Look, man, they said Einstein was crazy. They said Galileo was crazy. They said all these great philosophers and mathematicians back in the day were crazy. Okay. So look, maybe he's insane or maybe he's on to something. And we're just not, maybe our third eye is just closed, man. Maybe you just got to open it and really understand what he's saying. But look, I think he's very entertaining at the very least, man. You never know what he's going to say or what hair he's going to have. Yeah. Dog. And the fact that he knows all this while being a professional actor. I'm like, when did he have the time, man? Like, why did he even go into acting if this is his true passion? Because it can't be something he just picked up in the last 5 years. Like, he's too deep in this shit, man. This got to be something that's been around since childhood for him. And now he's on this shit, and it's like, where was this the whole time, man? Why is you going to acting? What made you want to act? He don't even talk about acting no more, man.
Yeah.
It's wild. Is wild. But look, man,
I did see a clip him discussing about him. I guess he was originally supposed to play Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
And I guess he tried to what's his name? Robert Downey Jr. Was trying to get that part or something like that. And for some reason they wanted Terence Howard to be his sidekick or something like that, Iron Man sidekick, which I think he actually played with a pay cut. But he actually got Robert Downey Jr. the job pretty much. He kind of got him in the door. And then I guess I didn't know this was the reason why they kicked him out the Marvel universe, but I guess he went through some type of situation with a lady or something. And I think that's how he got out of it. And I guess come to find out, whatever it was, she was lying or something like that. And I guess during that time, he tried to reach out to Robert Downey, and Robert never hit him back at all. And it wasn't until 3 years later when he seen him at a party or something. And by that time, the damage was done. So he was kind of upset that Robert ain't really look out for him when he needed it. So
yeah, he got Jonathan majored, man. They got him out of there. Yeah, man. I think Robert Downey Jr. pre and post Iron Man are like two different people. Pre Iron Man, he was known as a drug addict who couldn't do a movie. He was basically blacklisted from Hollywood, and he was just a mess. And now after Iron Man, he cleaned up a whole lot, and it's like he's a different person now. I'm sure he got rid of all of his friends from back then. You can even see, because I think it was on the Oscars or whatever award show, Jimmy Kimmel was talking about that old shit, and you can see he was visibly pissed off at it. Like, he didn't think that shit was funny at all, man. So I think anything that's from like the pre-Iron Man days, he just wiped that clean and became a different person after that, because he won't even talk about that anymore. You can't even ask him that in an interview about his past problems with like substance abuse and all that shit. So yeah, he's just wiped that whole thing clean. And yeah, he probably did get done dirty. I'd rather see Terrence Howard as War Machine than Don Cheadle. I just don't like Don Cheadle, man. At least Terrence Howard is funny. He says Maine a lot. He says Maine. So yeah, I'd rather see Terrence Howard than Don Cheadle as a War Machine, but whatever.
Yeah.
Gene says he said RDJ owes him $1 million for the Iron Man audition. Not sure how, but yeah. How did that happen? He owes him $1 million.
Yeah.
But Robert Downey Jr. had to pay to audition.
Was it like a referral fee or something? If I got you in the door and you owe me $1 million.
It kind of like, did he ask for a loan? I know what's his name? Dame Dash gave didn't he loan somebody $1 million or $500,000 or something like that, and he got it paid back? Who was that again?
Lee Daniel. Was it?
Yeah, Lee Daniel.
Was it Lee? Okay,
I think so. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Terrence Howard loaned him money, or maybe that's maybe he got $1 million and he thinks he's owed that because he vouched for Robert Downey Jr. I know Terrence Howard was the highest paid actor in Iron Man 1. But after that, of course, things changed because that was such a hit. So yeah. I want to see more clips. I don't want to listen to the whole podcast. Like I said, I want to try to boost up Joe Rogan, but dog, he's very interesting, man. And I like watching the clips of him just go off on this shit. And I think it's very interesting. He might be onto something, man. I don't know. But I'm riding with Terrence Howard, man.
Man.
I'm down. I'm in the camp.
Let's go, man.
Let's go, man. Jenny P, Matt Wine Kenneth, what's going on? Good to see you on YouTube. Girl.
What's up, girl?
Other things happening this week. Oh yeah, Caitlin Clark, man, the hot topic of the week. Caitlin Clark has made her WNBA debut. I think she's averaging like motherfucking 19 and something. I don't know. Ain't doing too hot, but I mean she's a rookie and playing in the pro league, so it's been a few growing pains are to be expected. But there's been a lot of discourse about her. There's a lot of clips of people playing hard defense on her and people getting mad. Some people are saying that people got to stop hating on Caitlin Clark. I think LeBron said it too, and Charles Barkley, saying people got to stop hating on Caitlin Clark. She's doing so much for the league. She got them more money. She's getting them more ratings, more views. They got chartered flights now for the first time ever, and that's being attributed to her. So yeah. And then Angel Reese did say some things. She's been talking about how she says something like, don't just cover one team when there's a bunch playing in the league right now. And I guess there's been some people throwing shade, and it's kind of getting boosted up. So, Figgy, what's your take on this whole Caitlin Clark thing? Do you think she's being overly hated on, or do you think people just being a little too dramatic about it?
I think it's some of both, man. I think she is getting a little hated on, man, because I mean, unless maybe she talking smack behind closed doors that we don't know, but I feel like she been kind of quiet a little bit, man. I don't understand the whole hard defense on her. Like you just doing that to her? Like they over there setting hard ass picks on her. I'm like, damn. Like they just trying to embarrass her. And you know, I don't know what it is, but this situation was really eye-opening because we talk about this often, how women like to point the fingers at men saying, why y'all doing this? And you know, y'all hate women and all this other stuff. But I've been seeing a lot of women hate on her, man. Like I don't get it. I felt I ain't sitting there saying you need to give her a lane so she can make a layup or nothing. But she is putting eyes on the league right now, man. Like there's no denying that. Look, I like Angel Reese, but I don't know if I'll be watching the WNBA to check on Angel Reese. Like I don't know if anybody would. I think she'd be. I think Angel. What's crazy is Angel Reese. I feel like she fits in the WNBA just right. I feel like she blends in just right. She played just like the other girls and all that stuff. I think she's gonna be fine. I think she's gonna be in the league for a minute. But for some reason, it just seemed like they got something against Caitlin Clark, man. It's like, damn, let's be real, man. They got them charter jets because of her, man. These arenas and the coverage of the WNBA is because of her. Like, I know that could rub some people the wrong way, but like I said it before, I felt like this is the perfect time for all of them to stick together, man. I think just imagine, and I know this is different with the NBA, but when LeBron first got in the league, remember you had to remember the infamous clip of Ricky Davis and Darius Miles saying, LeBron could jump on our coattail. And, you know, and I think Smush Parker saying, he could be like Caron Butler for the Miami Heat. So they was kind of giving them that hard, this is the NBA rook type of deal because he was coming straight out of high school. But like just imagine if everybody was sitting there trying to embarrass LeBron or try to knock, give him all these hard fouls and all that stuff. And I know LeBron came in great, but I feel like this is the perfect time for Caitlyn. I mean, for them to kind of uplift everybody. Like, I wouldn't just single her out because ain't nobody singling out Angel Reese. Angel Reese kind of fitting in. I think all the other women are fitting in, but it seemed like they kind of have an issue with it. And then the other part I don't like about all this is it seemed like the media just eating this up. Like they trying to make it a racial thing or all this other stuff. It's just like, man, like just watch the damn game. Like we don't need all that. Just, if you want to watch Caitlin Clark, just watch Caitlin Clark. We ain't got to do all this, because she's a white girl. They doing, the league's doing this all because it's white girl. And then they trying to bring up the, she got a shoe and this person who been in the league for this long never had anything. It's just like, man, like, why are we trying to do this, man? This is why people don't watch the NBA like they used to. Like, quit bringing this stuff up. Let's enjoy the game. So, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of felt bad for Caitlin Clark, man. We should be talking about her game, or, we should be watching the games. If we that much WNBA fans, we should be sitting there watching the games and enjoying them. But we gotta always have these conversations.
Yeah, man. It's people wanted NBA type discussion on WNBA. Well, this is what you're gonna get, man. Y'all welcome this audience here. You said we need to watch it. Well, now you got more eyes. So, yeah. Jean on YouTube says she got injured bad, rolled ankle. That's not a bad injury unless you're being sarcastic, and then okay, I get it. But I know she rolled her ankle, man. That's wild. I think she'll be okay though. Jenny, Matt Juan Chemist, Jenny P also says, I think it's a combination of both. Also, the media hyped her and the girls are coming for her. This isn't new to the game of basketball. Men do it too. Yeah, like you remember when Jeremy Lin was popping off and then he faced the Heat and Mario Chalmers put that smothering defense on him for the whole game, like picked him up at full court.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, you got to prove you're a star in the NBA or of the pro leagues, period. If somebody anoints you early, you're going to get tested. Everybody gets tested, man. LeBron got tested too. He was just better than everybody. But you're going to get tested when you get anointed early as the star of the league. Jordan got tested when everybody put him up, even though he had the stats to prove it. He got tested, man. The bad boys like, nah, you're going to earn that shit. The bad boy Pistons made him earn that shit. So, yeah, man, everybody got to earn their superstar status. They can't just be automatically given to it by the media.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. My only, like, even like on the court, like I have no problem with her. I thought it's kind of funny they playing her hard, but on the court. But my only issue is where it seemed like, even with the Angel Reese, the tweets and stuff like that, it's just like, why is we, like we don't have to do that. We can, the media go and cover wherever, man. We see the media always talk about the Lakers and the Cowboys. Like, just imagine somebody coming out saying, hey, like, there's other teams in the NFL. Why you always talking about the Cowboys? Like, that's the media, man. And we talked about it earlier. They're going to go where the hits are. But I just felt like, at the end of the day, the NBA, like Mario Chalmers was playing defense on Jeremy Lin. I remember that. But I don't think he had anything personal against Jeremy Lin. He kind of probably had a little chip on the shoulder, like, all right, we about to shut. This dude, everybody keep talking about this Linsanity stuff. Nah, it's about to be over now. But I'm sure he ain't had nothing personal against him. So I feel like people kind of getting a little personal when it comes to Caitlin Clark, where it's just like, man, like, look, I feel like the WNBA, this is the perfect opportunity to kind of all stick together and lift each other up, man. I ain't saying give her a lane to drive and lay the ball up and score 40, but I feel like, the media is good for the media. The people on Twitter are good for trying to divide somebody, try to make it what it ain't. And I think stuff like that, like people bringing up the racial part of it, I think this is the perfect opportunity for some of these ladies to be like, nah, it's not all that. We are a sisterhood. You know, we gonna lift each other no matter what. And, you know, like that. But it seemed like they kind of singling her out a little bit. I could be wrong, but it seemed like they kind of singling her out.
I mean, look, there's going to be a degree of pettiness there, I think. I'm not going to pretend like I watch games enough to know what kind of energy she's getting on the court. I'm sure there's some pettiness there, maybe within their own team, man. But that's just natural when somebody anoints you early, okay? And you get a lot of media coverage. They're like, oh, you a star now, huh? All right, we gonna see. So that's just sports, man, in general. Jenny P also says, let's be real, the charter jet conversation started last season. Yeah, everybody credits Caitlyn with the charter jet thing. And is that like really what happened? They got her in the same season they got charter jets. Did they even know officially then how much money she bring in? They just kind of guessed like, yeah, she'll cover it. I kind of feel like this was probably planned already and it just lined up with her getting drafted. But I don't know if they can completely claim that she's the reason why they got these jets. I don't know.
Yeah, because they actually been talking about not talking about, but really making issue about how they, you know, don't have what the NBA have, as far as like them having to fly commercial and all this other stuff. So those been conversations for years. So I'm guessing they were working on something like that, and maybe they figured, you know, once she come in the league, not saying she was the reason why, but somebody like her, all the coverage she getting, they probably like, man, we got to get some charter jets now. We can't have her just walking around at a Southwest terminal or whatever. So yeah, I don't think she was the reason why they got it, but it could have been a reason they hurry up and push the fact.
Yeah. Jenny P also says the media is the problem. They have been hyping Caitlyn and dogging Angel for 2 years. But to be fair, Angel kind of accepted the bad guy role. Like she kind of accepted and welcomed being that kind of villain. I'm not saying she deserved it, but she did play into it a little bit. And yeah, Caitlin Clark plays an exciting game, man. You can't knock it. She plays an exciting game. And I'm not saying they're right for dogging Angel. I don't think that shit's cool. But they tried to make it a good guy, bad guy type thing. And Angel said, fuck it, I'll be the bad guy then. You know, I feel like she kind of took that on. So I have to say this, though, man, because it's really getting annoying how people, I don't think it's fair to judge somebody based on their fan base. You know, I think a lot of people just don't like Caitlin Clark because they think people who do like her are racist. That don't make her racist, okay? Yeah. Just because they like seeing a white woman ball out over these black women don't mean she feel that way. You know, I don't think it's fair because they do the same thing with Jokic. A lot of people hate on Jokic because they just don't like the fact that white people see a white guy balling out. Like, how is that his fault? Yeah. Even Larry Bird back in the day when racial tension was very high, Larry Bird always shut down the racial shit, man. He always shut that down. He said it wasn't about a black or white thing. When Dennis Rodman, I think it was Isaiah Thomas, actually said that people only make a big deal about Larry Bird because he's white. If he was black, he'd be just another player. He shut that shit down eventually. He didn't play into that at all, man. He was like, look, I'm just here playing basketball. And you can't judge them based on their fan base. They don't choose their fan base, man. So I don't care if racists like a guy. I'm gonna judge them off their own merits, man. And if they say some lame shit, I'm gonna call it out. But if they're just here to play ball, like Luka fans, man. Yeah, Luka fans are terrible, but Luka has a crazy, like, he can ball out, man. All right, Luka can ball out, man. I'm not gonna say he's whack or cheer when he loses because I want to see his fans mad. I really don't care how they feel, man. So that's my only thing. Stop judging athletes and people based on their fan base. Same thing with Eminem as well, man. You could think Eminem is corny, but people go overboard with the Eminem hate because they hate Eminem fans.
Yeah.
And Eminem don't even want them fans, man. All right. He wants the strict hip hop fans, man. I think he'd rather have a black audience than a white one, to be fair.
Yeah.
He didn't choose his audience, man. So you can't hold that against these people.
Yeah.
And so that's my only thing, man. Stop rooting for people's demise just because you don't like their fans online. I think it's kind of corny.
Yeah, it's the same. Honestly, it's the same thing with like Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
a lot of people just hate Taylor Swift because of the way the fans act, which I kind of understand because, like I said, stan culture is at an all-time high. But at the end of the day, man, it's like this girl, she ain't, she's actually out here doing a lot of stuff that these black artists ain't trying to do, man. Like she actually trying to get people paid off of the streams and all that shit, man. She ain't nobody really talking about this, but she actually fighting the fight, man. She's the one fighting these labels and all that shit, man. So look, man, like I can't be mad at her. I can't be mad at the artist. It might, like, some stuff she might do might be a little irritating, where it's just kind of eye roll, but nah, I can't hate Taylor Swift or hate none of these people just, because of all that BS.
Yeah, man. I don't care about the fan base, man. All I care about is what the person does. And yeah, it is lame to just say I hate Jokic because his fans are annoying. Like, what the fuck? Jokic don't do nothing offensive, man. He don't do nothing offensive. He don't say nothing offensive. What reason is there to hate him?
Yeah,
like he has to be the most plain Jane NBA star ever, and you gonna say you hate him?
Yeah,
I don't understand, man. But it is what it is. People just corny like that. All right. Last but not least, the long-awaited review of a one episode. We promised y'all we played the trailer of a certain documentary based on Black Twitter, and we said it looked awful, but for content purposes, we will watch it. It's called. Is it just called Black Twitter? What's it called?
Yeah. Yes, I think so.
Let me see. Let me get the stats up real quick. It's called Black Twitter: A People's History. So yeah, it's I'm trying to see who directed it. Okay, the director is the guy who was a showrunner for Insecure. Jenny P said, Jokic just wants to be with his horses. Yeah, man, he just wants to be on his farm somewhere and occasionally play basketball. I don't see what people are mad about him with. He was also a writer on Girlfriends, apparently. So yeah, the director, he made Black Twitter: A People's History, I believe it's called. Yeah. It's starring the usual suspects, people we saw on the trailer. Janelle Hill is there. Other people, I can't remember their names, but Amanda Seals is there. I know her. Other people I don't know by name, but I recognize their face. And yeah, this is a documentary on the rise of Black Twitter. Now, we did know it's going to be 3 parts. Me and Figgy only could take one. Okay, pause. We could only watch one episode. Every episode is an hour long, and is exactly what you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
So, Figgy, let me get your thoughts first, man. What are your thoughts on episode 1 of Black Twitter: A People's History?
Man, this documentary, I don't even think I finished the first episode, man. It was awful, man. It was bad. It was just a lot of bubblegum stuff that I don't want to speak for everybody, but the people I was around did not care about this stuff on Twitter.
Yeah, they're bringing up a lot of stuff I never even heard of, man.
Yeah, they was bringing up just like, oh yeah, before we just wanted a space where we could speak our minds. And yeah, we had Black Planet, but we just wanted a place where we can express ourselves and talk about Black culture and talk about the cookout, going to the yeah, you're invited to the cookout and all these little small moments that I didn't even know about or cared about. And I'm thinking like I was on Twitter during that. I was on Twitter at the beginning, and it was not like the people I was around was not trying to get on Twitter because that we wanted black people wanted a place to speak and share our ideas and emotions and stuff like that. So I'm just like, huh? It was just so cheesy. And then I cringed so hard where I guess they had dinner at somebody's house.
Yeah.
Around the table. I'm just like, oh my goodness, man. Like, are we just about to, and then they just keep showing these random ass gifts.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man. Like, we was not doing that shit, man. Look, man, this was something. And then half of the people on there, like outside of Jamel Hill and I think it was like maybe two other people, Amanda Seals and somebody else. I'm sitting there like, who is these people? And then at one point, I felt like they had like a white guy on there.
Yeah, he was. I think he worked at Apple or something. He works. He was on the Obama administration.
Yeah. I'm just like, what? I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, why are y'all sitting here talking about Black Twitter like they was talking like back in the 2000s that it was a Black Twitter, and it wasn't. We wasn't going around like, yeah, Black Twitter. It was just Twitter. It wasn't none of that. Yeah, let's go to the Black Twitter side and all this other stuff. The Black Twitter stuff came, I want to say like maybe 8 or 10 years ago. It wasn't like it wasn't back in the late 2000s where we sitting there like, yeah, this the black side and oh yeah, it wasn't even like that, man. We were just on Twitter. And so to me, this was so bad, man. It was so many cringy moments in this where I'm just like, I sat there like, why is it 3 episodes of this? And I don't even want to see the other episodes, man. Like, I don't know, maybe we might miss something, but it was bad, man. I couldn't even stay focused watching it, man. I was all on my phone and I'm looking like, man, this stuff is so cheesy and goofy. I wasn't a fan at all. It was actually worse than I thought.
Yeah, man, it was bad. It was actually as bad as I thought it would be. All these documentaries, I expect them to be bad, but sometimes you get surprised. Like Freaknik, I didn't think it was going to be good, but it was actually a good documentary, man.
Yeah.
This is a pure example of not everything needs a documentary, especially this close to when it just happened, and even if it's still around. One thing I've noticed recently, like they're making a documentary out of everything that's been going on the past few years. Like last I heard, they're going to make a documentary about Movie Pass. Remember Movie Pass?
Yeah.
That app where you get to see a bunch of movies. They're going to make a documentary about that, man. And I'm like, maybe like in 10 years, when you forget about it, you can bring it up. Maybe in like 10 years from now, when Twitter is gone or completely something different, we can look back and reminisce on Black Twitter in a documentary. It will make more sense. It don't make sense now, man. It really don't, because it's Twitter still around and there's still a lot of Black people on it.
That's the thing. That's the thing. It's still around. Yeah. Like it's gonna be a day where Twitter is officially gone. And then maybe 10 years later, we could be like, oh, let's do a Black Twitter documentary where it's going to be some people that didn't even know what Twitter was. And it'd be like, okay, it kind of teaches something. But we still on this motherfucker, man. It's still going strong. Might be stronger than ever, to be honest. And you making the documentary up, that's like remember a couple years ago, this was right when Tekashi 6ix9ine went to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to say like 2 days later, it was a documentary of it on Hulu, and it was just like, what the and they wasn't even saying nothing, man. It was just all the stuff we knew. It's like they gathered all the stuff on social media and just made it to and made it to like a timeline. And I don't know, this was a bad idea, man. I don't think nobody was asking for this.
Yeah, and it's very pretentious, man, because everybody in the documentary was acting like they really had a big part in Black Twitter, when it's like y'all might have had a big following, but y'all were not driving the content like this, man. It was random ass people or celebrities. that were really driving this at this time, and y'all was just putting your little 2 cents in. You know, especially somebody like Jemele Hill, the nerve of her to act like she was really a crucial part of Black Twitter. Dog, she got clowned the most in the heyday, man. All right. Everybody was like, Jemele Hill tweets be like, in the corniest shit you can post. Some basic ass gift.
Yeah.
So, man, it's like, if you're going to do this, at least get the unknown people who are really involved in making it pop back then. But they didn't do that, of course. They got the same motherfucking college-educated think piece writers and spokespeople for this type of thing to speak on it. And they just had kind of an outsider perspective on it, man. They had no relationship to the people who were creating the content for the Twitter like that back in the day. So, yeah, it's just corny overall, man. It was corny overall. And I also think the take pride in Black people boosting up Twitter and see where it landed now is just depressing for me, man. Because we made Twitter big, and then it got sold to a racist who now uses it to prop up white supremacist accounts, man. So what was the point?
Yeah,
we really look stupid for this shit now, don't we?
We're using this shit.
I gotta admit, I'm still on Twitter, man. I can't leave.
Yeah.
Every option sucks, man. Blue Sky sucks. They just added the ability to DM on Blue Sky, by the way, just now, which is crazy.
Damn.
But Blue Sky sucks. Everything Thread sucks. All these alternatives suck ass, man. So I tried to move, but I can't. But yeah, man, to take pride in boosting up Twitter and seeing where it ended is just corny to me in general now, man. Maybe years from now we can look back and reminisce and think positive about it. But me personally, I think it's depressing. You know, why don't we do this for our own community app or whatever? I don't know. But I don't know. Some people might like it. I feel like my mother would watch it and enjoy it. You know, but I can't enjoy it.
I feel like I was kind of torn on this, but I feel like people that's not on social media had the potential to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I also feel like the way they shot this, it would just confuse people who's not on social media, because all the random gifts and them saying hashtag this and remember this tweet and all this other stuff, and remember so-and-so was telling this story, and it just went.
By the way, I've been on Twitter since 2009, and a lot of this stuff I had no idea what they were talking about. Like some woman's sex story about prostitution. Well, what the fuck was that?
Yeah,
you're talking like it was the hottest thing on Twitter. I'm like, I don't even remember this.
Yeah, I don't remember that, and that was in the deep streets of Twitter too. Like I was around when we could do our own Black Twitter documentary. But I was around. I remember like some of the funniest people to follow was like I want to say it was like Fabulous, because he actually be roasting people, and like he would communicate with a lot of people. It was just a bunch of random people that wasn't even famous. Just they was just known from being on Twitter. Even the dude Ice from Joe Budden podcast. He was like a big troll on Twitter, man. He was one of them people, and see that's why they I want to say it was maybe like last year they was digging up some old tweets of his, and how he was like shitting on dark skinned women and all this other stuff. But he was like joking. That's how Twitter was back then, where you could just say whatever, where he was just like joking on anybody. And so people like that were part of that Twitter experience. Not this old, like, I don't know what that story was. And then they made it a movie or a series or something. I'd never heard of that show or that story. So that's why I'm like, what? I didn't know what that was. And they just act like it was just so common.
Yeah.
Everybody remember this one. I was just like, what? Like, that didn't even make sense.
Yeah, there are a few cases of classic. I know the Temecula thing. I was there when that happened. They were acting like it was a super legendary thing, though. I thought it was just a people talk about meeting up and fighting every day on Twitter. Yeah, I didn't see what made that so special. I mean, it was funny that the dude actually posted pictures of him pulling up the Temecula, I guess, and they were fighting over Kobe Bryant of all things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't think it was epic enough to be described like it was, man. I just thought that was a little funny moment.
Yeah,
But,
no, it was like you see people say jokes all the time on Twitter, man, where you just laugh at it. You might some of it might travel for a couple days, and then you move on. But not once did I look at a situation like this was legendary. Like what? Like I ain't never look at it like that.
yeah, like I said, maybe in 10 years we could look at it with more reverence. But now I don't feel that way about it. It's just like I think of the funniest things on the internet. I don't think of a whole lot of Twitter shit. You know, a few things from Twitter, but not like the stuff they were talking about in the documentary.
Yeah, yeah,
So.
like I always look at, like I don't even think this was funny or that funny, but it was like a moment where remember that dude was that infamous video that I guess one of the old YouTube videos of the dude in the woods. Like, I want some Chick-fil-A and some waffle fries.
Yeah, for free.
Yeah, like
bitch, you ain't no nerd.
I want some pussy, some butt, or some I cut you. What do you say? I cut you right now, like a fish, if you sass me again. Whatever that was, but like I feel like that unforgivable. That's unforgivable. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Like that was a classic moment right there, man. So I think a lot of people can remember that time. Like the stuff that's bringing up, I'm just like, who cares, man? Who's sitting there reminiscing about that?
Yeah. I think it was a very close circle of people that think they're Black Twitter. We talked about this before. People think they're Black Twitter, and then there's the real Black Twitter that they're not going to talk about in the documentary, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, this the Black Twitter back then was like what ICE was doing. People just roasting, a lot of racist jokes, a lot of colorist jokes, a lot of shitting on everybody. And that was what Black Twitter was back in those early days, man, before you could get canceled off of shit. So
where can you find that? Where can you find the real Black Twitter? Like that type of stuff, man.
Oh man, like now? Or
yeah, now you just got to run across it, right? I feel like you just run across it because it ain't like a hashtag Black Twitter and all that stuff, man. Sometimes you just go in a rabbit hole and you just see some wild ass conspiracy type stuff.
One thing I've noticed with the For You tab on Twitter is if you like a tweet, you'll see a lot more like it. So if somebody tweets something fucked up and you like it, you'll see more crazy shit, like some dark humor type thing or something like that. But it can also lead to some dark, weird places too. So you might want to get not get too heavy into it. Speaking of which, they're going to hide the likes on Twitter. You see that?
Round of applause for that, man.
Yeah, it's time to get deep in these on them porn stars, man. Time to get real. I can like some of my heart's content with these hoes and not have to worry about it. Bookmarking is getting old.
Yeah,
I'm ready to just like and move on.
I never understood how people can see what you like, man. That is so silly. And then like what's worse is people can actually go to your page, go to your likes, and see everything you liked.
Yeah.
So, like, what type of shit is that, man?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a funny way to dunk on people when somebody, let's say somebody is like, act like they're super Christian and says, I don't like all this ratchet stuff in music. And you see they like some porn shit on Twitter or something. You're like, this you? So that can be funny. But overall, I don't think really serves a purpose. They tried to make it a feature for only premium users. But now I guess they realize that they ain't getting that many people to sign up for premium no matter what they do. So fuck it, just hide it for everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we'll see. But I want to move away from Twitter, but there's nothing like it, unfortunately. So stuck here.
Yeah, I mean, we here, man. We here. I was looking for this damn video, man. I came across this video. I can't find it now. But it was a video, it was like a compilation video of somebody, I guess they was giving their hottest takes, like some of their hottest takes ever. And it was like some black Twitter wild shit, like the real black Twitter wild shit. Like I forgot what it was. I'll probably play it next time, but yeah, I thought that was like a perfect example of black Twitter. like some wild takes, like, oh, I think slavery was a choice, or
yeah,
little random stuff like that, where I'm just like, damn, like that's the stuff. That's to me, that's some like black conspiracy Twitter type shit.
Yeah, I miss that energy, man. I think it's gotten way too formal and dressed up. People get banned quickly now for goofy shit. So yeah, it ain't like it used to be. But yeah, you can still find a fucker if you look close enough, man. It's still out there, but they just won't get high engagement because they get marked as whatever content, and yeah, it's tough. So
yeah.
All right, that might about wrap it up. I see this Dallas and Minnesota game is getting crazy, so I might want to tune into the end of that. So we can go ahead and probably wrap this podcast up, man. I think that's everything to talk about this week that we have covered. Anything you want to plug and promote, Figgy?
Nah, man. I just want to say shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody on my Instagram too. I keep forgetting to check the comments on here. But if y'all on Instagram right now, make sure y'all subscribe to the Gems and Juice podcast on YouTube so you don't miss anything. And quite frankly, it's easier just watching us on YouTube. That way you can interact and, you know, join the conversation and all that stuff. Even if you don't want to join the conversation, it's better watching it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you don't want to watch it on Instagram.
Get premium because you get YouTube Music and that shit's fire. So yeah,
I'm thinking about switching over to YouTube Music, man. I'm really debating that because I feel like everything is on YouTube anyway, as far as like music. So and plus you'll get like some of the stuff that's not on streaming on YouTube, some of the, you know, unreleased stuff and all that. So so I think I might make that switch.
Yeah, man, it's fire. It's fire. I've been using it a lot lately, so yeah, I recommend it. Yeah, YouTube. You see, we're plugging you positively, so boost us in the algorithm, man. I know that how this works. Okay. Tab says, "Thank you for the show tonight. Appreciate you joining us, Tab." He says, "YouTube Music is awesome. It really is, man. It has everything. All the stuff they won't put on regular streaming is on YouTube, so you can put it on your playlist, and it's fire, man. I recommend it for people who are getting sick of shit getting taken off of streaming or being re-recorded, and it sounds like shit. You look at the original version, and you can't find it. Get YouTube Music, man. It's way better.
Yeah,
and there's no ads on YouTube if you watch it. If you get premium, which is the best thing, and you can watch YouTube without close. Well, you could close your phone and still listen to YouTube. Which you can't do anymore. You used to be able to do it. This is why I originally switched to YouTube Premium, because they took that away, and I was pissed. They used to have it so if you put your phone, if you turn the screen off, you could still listen to a YouTube song or video. They changed that, and now you have to have it open to watch or listen to it unless you subscribe to Premium. So I switched then and there, and it's been life-changing, man. So
but yeah, man, I think I might make that switch, man.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. I'm not shilling here. It really is worth it. Give us an ad, by the way. Appreciate everybody who joined us, man. Gene said best part of YouTube Premium for real. It really is, man. I can't go without it now. I don't know how people watch YouTube with ads still on it, man. I just don't get it. I'm not knocking y'all. I understand there's too many subscriptions to pay for, but it's such a bad experience to try to watch a video with ads embedded into it, man.
Dude,
I hate it.
It's frustrating because like I got to the point where I started watching YouTube on my TV, and just it might be a podcast or some type of interview or something, and I throw it on. Every freaking 5 minutes is an ad. And then not only like it's one thing if it's like an ad and it's like 30 seconds or something like that. now it'd be like an ad, and then after that ad's another ad where you got to skip it, or otherwise it's a 2-minute commercial. So now I got to find a remote to physically hit skip, and I'm just like, man, this is uncomfortable, man. This is frustrating, man. Because sometimes I'll be, cutting stuff on, be moving around the house, cleaning up and all that stuff. And now I gotta go to the remote to hit skip, or otherwise I'm listening to a 5-minute commercial. I'm like, man, this is ridiculous, man.
It is, man. Get YouTube Premium, man. It changes everything. The amount I watch YouTube is worth paying for it, because I pay a lot more for this other streaming bullshit that I don't use nearly as much. So I personally think it's worth it, but make the choice for yourself. But I do know if you have premium and watch our show or anybody's show, it helps. So we do appreciate it if you do get that and watch us more. So yeah, just saying.
Yeah, but yeah, shout out to everybody, man. Make sure y'all go to Atomic Wings.
Yeah.
Go to your Google search and type in Atomic Wings. Go there, get the wang, and tell them Figgy Fig sent you. I'm gonna be doing some cool stuff with them pretty soon, man. We got some guests coming through to try the wang and all that stuff. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, it's about to be a good year.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all check that out. Go to Atomic Wings and tell them Figgy Fig sent you.
Yeah, we might have to do a show from there one day, man.
I'm down, man. I'm down. Let's talk about it. We'll talk about it. So, yeah, appreciate everybody who joined us for the show today. We appreciate y'all. We're going to catch y'all next time, same channel, more or less. And yeah, appreciate it, y'all. Until next time.
Peace.